I'm here. I am here. So, first of all, let's say happy Saturday, wonderful weekend. I hope things are well for you. It is the last week of Black History Month. So, I am hoping that we are able to, have a nice little conversation tonight. I've been having some difficulties with my computer and audio and the charger import. So I don't know how long I'm gonna be able to stay up here tonight, but I am gonna try my best to be up here for as long as we can vibe. Once again, it has been a long week for me, and I have been going through a lot of things. So I had some live scheduled earlier this week, and unfortunately there were some things going on and I couldn't actually get to it. So I do want to apologize to everyone who is following me and supporting me. I appreciate your support always. Tonight I am here in my, I'm always in stuff like this because I rep for my my skin complexion, and I wish all y'all would do the same, even if you're not Black. Just rep for us. So tonight I am in my, sorry, but in my poppin' shirt for the last week of, what it is. It is Black History Month, and we have the Black Power Fight Power earrings here. So if you guys aren't in y'all a paraphernalia for Black History Month, we can take a 5-second break here and let you guys go run and get the Liberations flag. If you want to have a Martin Luther King picture sitting on the side of you, if you want to go get your Bible or something, you can do all of that. Have a quick little break so you can go get your paraphernalia for the last week of Black History Month. Thank you guys. I'm hoping that you stay with me, and I hope that you guys went to go get your things, crowns, dashikis, whatever it is that you need that represents Black History Month for you. Thank you all for joining. Seven Still, I do see you in the chat. Thank you, my dear friend. Love you very much. Appreciate you. Now, this is a Saturday night, and with me, I like to partake in ganja. Never promoting tobacco smoke. So whatever you do, to each his own. I hope that you guys are sipping on something and will be able to enjoy the night. Earlier this week, my boo thing bought me this really cute candle, and it says, "Light me up when you feel the need to calm the F down." So I suffer from bipolar disorder. So I was cracking up when I was cracking up actually when he gave me this candle. It meant the world to me. Emotional issues can be the worst, but this is always a warning for somebody or a wake-up call from somebody. It does say God. So we don't want to cuss tonight. Anyways, what are you guys smoking on tonight? If you do smoke, I was smoking on mimosa last week. So now I'm doing a little mixture of some things. How has y'all week been? How has Black History Month been? If you follow me from the Chaotic Truth show, are you guys supporting my boy? And are you guys riding against the disrespect that he's been getting from certain panelists? We're not talking about that tonight, but if you guys want to mention that or talk about that, or if you know what I'm talking about, you can definitely talk about that. But what we are going to talk about, what the main topic about tonight is something that I came up with, I thought about from Monique. Y'all know Monique is always calling her partner daddy, daddy this, daddy this, daddy this, daddy this. And I love to see Monique and her for the rest of it, I just got to make sure that y'all can see the what's popping, the melon. Okay, I just want to make sure y'all can see that. So we don't mess that up tonight. But I love the way she loves on her husband and how they display love for one another or whatever and things of that nature. So the affection and admiration that they show for one another, and the way that Monique shows her admiration for her husband is by referring to him as daddy. So I wanted to know, like, I'm assuming I've never seen him in any interview say, "Oh, don't call me daddy." I've never seen him like feel any type of way or look any certain kind of way. I want to know, like, what do you guys think about her referring to him as daddy? And since Monique is a celebrity and we don't really know her like that, it's really, what do you think about women, men, if you're in the chat and women refer to you as daddy? Do you think a woman might have a father or daddy complex? Do you find it erotic? Do you think it's like, what are your thoughts about it? And women, like, are you out here calling y'all boo things daddy? Sorry, I hear a lot of women say a lot of things with the whole poppy thing and in the bedroom and stuff like that. But I want to get down to the basis of it. Is it anything wrong with calling your partner daddy? 1 second. What are you doing up here tonight? It looks like we have Spirit Oliver on the panel. Thank you so much for joining, Spirit. How are you today?
I am fine.
Okay.
Thank you for adding me.
Oh, not a problem. How's your week been?
My week has been crazy.
Girl, mine too. Mine too. You want to talk about it?
We will talk about it. We shall talk about it. But I have company, so if it's not like that, it's not like that.
Understand. So, do you want to
Leave
answer?
your shoes on.
Do you want to answer the question or something tonight about calling your partner daddy? What do you think about that?
What do I think about calling your partner daddy?
Mm-hmm. You got an echo, Spirit.
I know because I'm on both.
Oh, okay.
Let me take you off the TV and then I can hear you. Oh, so what do I think about calling your mate daddy?
Yeah, like I was referencing Monique because Monique always refers to her husband as daddy. In some cultures, Latino cultures, you hear women say papi. I had a Spanish dude, and sometimes I would call him papi. I actually don't think it's anything wrong with a woman, calling her man daddy every now and then. So I'm asking, like, what do you think? And do you think, if you don't like it, do you think women who do that have a daddy complex?
I would call my ex daddy. I mean, I would call my mate daddy. I would.
Mhm.
I would refer to him as daddy.
And when you're referring to him as daddy, like, what is the intention? Like, what do you want him
Intention is he's there for protection. He
to?
my man, but he my daddy.
Mm-hmm.
And he just like with Monique in her situation. He
Mm-hmm.
not gonna let nobody fuck over Monique. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Like what
Yeah,
he do for Monique and what she do for him, he not gonna do.
you're right. That's what I get from it. Yeah. She said that he taught her to grow up and things of that nature. So when I hear women like call a man daddy or refer to a man as daddy, women, I think it's because they're trying to let that man know that he's the boss or he's in charge. Like you said, a protector. Maybe he's doing like a great job in what he does. Like if it's in the bedroom or sexually, like, hey, kudos to you and stuff like that. I think it's like a total submission to a man. Like, I wouldn't, if I was had I do have children, but if I was around my kids and stuff, I wouldn't be sitting up there calling him daddy like that. Hey, daddy, and all that stuff. Like with the confusion, what do you think? Would you refer to him as daddy in front of children as well, like a family that y'all have created together?
What was the last part? You said create a family together?
If you created a family together with this man, would you call him daddy in front of the kids, or would you think that's inappropriate?
Yeah, I would.
You would call him that in front of the kids?
Go tell your daddy so they know.
I'm saying, but
But they
wait.
gonna come to tell you, mama, daddy.
So, do you think it should go both ways? Like, what do you think if a man came up to you calling you mama? Hey, mama. Uh, thank you, mama. Okay, mama. You got it
It's
going.
crazy that you bring that up because my dad refers to his wife as mama. And
Really,
that was weird to me. I guess I don't know. His case, I see it as having daddy issues.
really,
I mean, mommy issues. He talks
really.
about it a lot, and she wasn't no mother figure like talking about.
So when he calls her mommy, you don't think that he's calling her that because that's his top lady in his life and he has total respect for her?
No, nope, I don't. I
No.
mean, it's a respectful thing, but hey, some people are some people. You know,
Mhm. Mhm.
it is what it is. But nah, I can't say. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that.
So I've had dudes call me mommy, hey mommy, or oh
Mamacita, things like
yeah,
that.
like like somebody calls me mommy now, like every now and then, and it just do everything for me. But it's kind of like a an affectionate thing. But I don't feel like he got mommy issues or none of that kind of stuff.
I mean, it's deeper than what you think for some people. It might be that
Yeah.
for Monique, but I mean, in the
Mhm.
bedroom, I'm gonna call my man daddy, but in public, I probably call him by his name or honey or sweetie or something like that, or
Mhm.
sweetheart. But I wouldn't call him daddy like that.
No, not in public.
Hoes call they pips daddy, but I mean, Monique, I get it. Some older people are into that,
Yeah.
but I'm
Have
just
you
not.
have you been watching that series? Why the f did I get married?
With that lady,
Yeah, it's a woman on TikTok who has a 50 something
yeah,
episodes.
I just didn't tune in.
I know one.
But I'm gonna be listening to the show. I'm gonna come back later on.
All right.
I got something to do, but I'm gonna
Okay.
come back.
Okay. Have a good night. Thank you.
No, I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna come back.
Okay. That was Spirit Oliver, everybody. She was joining the show. She will be back as she says. Spirit Oliver says that she would call her man daddy in the bedroom, but she would not call him daddy in public. She also says that maybe that there are some deeper issues than what people pose them to be. So I did see some articles with some sex therapists in there, and a sex therapist said that. Now I don't know how credentialed the job of being a sex therapist is. Nah, God forgive me because I love counseling and therapy with all my heart and any type of therapy. But they said that if women refer to men as daddy, that it is not. Most women are not suffering from daddy issues, but some may be. I think that there are a plethora of reasons, as I mentioned, why someone would call their mate daddy. Of course, it's like a simple nickname opposed to baby, pudding, honey, sweetheart. But daddy is the most controversial nickname that a woman is out there, I guess, referring to her man. Now, when we think about back in the day, Sigmund Freud basically always said that had his theory of that all children want to have sex with their parents. That is what Sigmund Freud came up with. Doing his psychological quest, but now, and he derived that term penis envy. It was the idea that women would be crippled or obsessed with their needs of penis. But people have since then removed themselves from modern psychologists have now removed themselves from the thoughts of Sigmund Freud. So we don't want to say that people out here want to have sex with their people. But yeah, that is what that guy said. So if we did take that up with him, then you would think that, yeah, it could be gross and ironic. But I think that is sweet. I think that is powerful. I think that it should be used in a respectable way. Um, would you be standing in front of your daddy, and would you be standing with your boo thing and then be saying daddy right in front of your daddy? Like, I think that would be hard too. What if that both daddies look? Then what you do? Oh God. I wish I would be like daddy, and my daddy looking around like, girl, what's wrong with you? Yeah, it's just some things you don't want to show. Yeah, so thank you guys for joining the chat tonight. If you do watch this on the replay, I thank you guys for watching the replay as well. It is Saturday night, and it is a wonderful night. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe. I am trying to get to 500 subscribers quickly. I am promoting myself on IG, so if you have not follow my IG page, it is RozGirl37, and on there I put like when I'm going to be live. I try to be live every Tuesdays and Thursdays. I try to stay at 9 o'clock, but trust me, you guys, it's usually 30 minutes after 9, sometimes 40, but I will be here after 9 o'clock. It's always after 9 because that's when I can get to Adultville after I put my kids to bed. Mm-hmm. So I am on Instagram at RozGirl37. My Cash App is RozGirl37. So if you want to support me, you can definitely do that. I also have a email address, and that email address is the reasoning with rozgirl@gmail.com. So I am really trying to get like interviews and things of that nature where we're talking about health and wellness, emotional and spiritual health. So if at any time you want to send an email, if at any time you want to send someone my way who might want to interview on this platform or who wants to spread the word, definitely communicate with me through there. Or you can always communicate with me through Instagram. I am very hands-on and communicative, so I am very responsive when you guys do reach out to me. Let's see what else, all the stuff I talk about. If y'all haven't subscribed to the Chaotic Truth Live, please subscribe there. If you haven't subscribed to Chaotic Reacts, please subscribe there. If you haven't subscribed to This Might Be Risky, Here for the Tea, Midlife Bro Logic, The Blackish Cracker, all of these shows, you guys, Black Moses, please subscribe to there. They are good, great content, great personality, people to watch. But back to the thing of, are you calling your baby daddy? Do you men want your women to call a woman to call you daddy? And what are your true thoughts about it? It is also the weekend, so I want to know how you guys are spending it. It is also the last week of Black History Month. So if you do not have on your Black History Month paraphernalia, or if you don't have your Afrocentric, pro-Black, Kemet, whatever, go ahead and get it. I'm going to take a brief pause right now to make sure that you guys have about 5 seconds to run in your room to make sure you can find something Black that represents Black History Month. And you can sit and watch the live with it on. So go ahead, you guys. And we are back. So if you did not have your Black History stuff, you cannot tell nobody that I didn't give you the chance to go get it, because I definitely did. So anyways, another thing that's been going on is the whole why the F did I get married? I'm not going to show no clips of it. And if you haven't seen any clips of it, then kudos to you. I'm very embarrassed that I sat there and watched all 50 episodes. If there are any more episodes after those 50, I am definitely going to miss them on purpose. Um, it is about a woman who is on TikTok, and she's giving her whole story about this man who she met, and it didn't go well. Y'all know I don't like to cuss, but that shit was horrible. Like, I am upset with myself that I sat there and I watched all 50 episodes. I was supposed to be on here on Thursday night, and I wanted to talk about it on Thursday night, but I want to be able to have a source and know what I'm talking about. So I sat there and I listened to it. I then was on 20. It don't even get good into episode 25. Episode 25 is when she starts to talk about what the problem might be. Episode 35 is when she starts to, it's just ridiculous, you guys. It's totally ridiculous. It's not uncommon from any other person being in a relationship. She says this man was a pathological liar. There were many red flags that she saw. But what I thought was very important was that she was sharing her story. Hi, Mr. Speak On It. Thank you for joining, sir. I am tired of that nonsense too. I don't really want to talk about it so much. I just want to talk about the desperation that people have, and how they put themselves in certain situations. 7 still, sir. It was, Lord. Yes, God, it was a lot. Ant Dog, thank you for joining. He says, salute, Rise Girl, peace and love. Thank you for joining. I greatly appreciate that. You are my friend, so thank you. Mo Love, thank you so much for joining. She says, hi, Rise. Yeah, so I don't necessarily want to talk about the whole shindig, but it was a woman who got her heart broken, and she ain't paid for nothing. The man never actually showed her anything. She met him in June during COVID. And when the president said we had to quarantine, that man that she met that same month, they was living together. And in those months to a year, they tried to find each other out, figure each other out. They didn't know who they were, but they was living with each other and doing things that grown folks do, like having babies and possible miscarriages and a whole lot of other BS. The most important thing that I found from it was that she said that she went through this because she wanted to be married and she wanted kids. Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Lord. Oh, Jah. Like, she wanted to be married and she wanted kids. That's what she said. That's what she said. That's what she said, y'all. And a lot of women want to be married and want to have kids. A lot of women want to be married and want to have kids. And they go through all this stuff that they go through with these men. And then they have this big audience of people around them, like the TikTok lady on Why the F Did I Get Married? When she clearly knows she got married because she wanted to be married to anyone who would take her or accept her. And she wanted to be married to anyone who was going to be able to impregnate her. That is why you got married. It didn't take 50 episodes for us to figure this out. And I'm mad at myself. I'm mad at myself that I watched that shit. Excuse my language. I am so mad. Hi, Ivy Dreams. Thank you so much for joining. I definitely appreciate your view. Blue Jay. Hey, Blue Jay. Thank you for joining. I'm glad that you're here, Mo Love. That's sad. It's not supposed to be that way. It's not supposed to be what way, Mo? What do you mean? And Blue Jay 99 says she totally agrees. If you don't mind, Mo Love, can you elaborate on that? Yeah, like I think that she put her, there's a type of self-infliction. The word is self-infliction. And there's a term when you know better, you do better, right? When you know better, You do better. She said it. Oh, I was raised in a church, so I knew I shouldn't have been shacking up. No better, do better. Time for him to go. Oh, I know I didn't really see the bank account, but I really, it's just a whole lot of BS that wasn't necessary. So if you guys haven't seen the 50 episodes, please do not watch it. You are not missing anything. You can go to your homegirl who got her heart broken by the dude 12 months ago and get the same story from her. Might not be the exact incidents, but the feeling may still be the same. You know, it's still heartbreak. It's just that her scenario was different from somebody else. But I truly feel that it was a self-infliction pain that she put on herself because she was desperately dumb. I ain't trying to talk about it. I think her name is Risa. Risa, I ain't trying to talk about you. But my cousin told me a long time ago, I was in the 5th grade, and that was this dude who I had a crush on. Y'all know I'm just out of control. And because I had a crush on him, I was trying to show out. And we had like this bar, like where you get on there and it flip you around, like a little steel metal bar. Think of an elementary playground, y'all. If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, elementary playground bar, flip around it. Flip around the bar, run over to it. I flip and go, pop, all this out of there. Front 2 cracked, halfway gone. Trying to impress dude, a little 5th grader. Desperately dumb. Well, I go my whole mouth up, all my teeth up. Like, can't be that way. Can't be that way. Gotta be patient. Gotta be patient. Gotta be patient. Like, she needs to be patient. So, I ain't gonna rap about that all night. You know, if y'all want to talk about it, y'all can talk about it, and I would gladly converse with y'all because it's so much better when you have someone to talk about it with, the nonsense with, or when you want to reflect on yourself. Why didn't I have anything else to do? Why did I have so much time to watch every episode? You know, you might want to have that reflection tonight. So you can. You can definitely have that reflection. Blue Jay says willful delusion. She says, I feel you. Yes, and dog, I watched 50 episodes. They were like, what, 3 to 8 minutes long or something? It might have been more than that. I don't know. Right. A guy can say 5 rude things and 1 nice, and we will focus on the 1 nice thing when we are still naive. You're so right. Settling for anything because you want to be married is unfortunate. She kept going back after all the lies. I wish she had been smarter. Girl, yes, Mo. She just wanted it to be true so badly, she lied to herself. And that is devastating in itself. And I ain't going to try to play the chick. I ain't going to try to play it, and I ain't going to try to play her emotions because trust me, I be having my own issues with people in my life or just with things that go on where trust is a very big thing. So when you give your trust to someone, you don't want them to be lying to you. You don't want to think that they're doing the worst. So you tell yourself so much when everything is in front of you. So I can definitely understand that. Don't make it right, don't make it wrong. But at the end of the day, I do think she should have left sooner than what she did. It's so unfortunate. Thank you guys for joining. I see you guys are coming in now, so some of you may have missed the beginning of the show. So I did say happy Saturday to you guys. It is the weekend, so I hope that we can have a vibe. I also was saying that it is the last week of Black History Month. So you see me here decked out in my black-ish stuff. Blue Jay, please stay. There's no disrespect to you. I love you. You are my sister. So don't feel bad or don't feel isolated. Definitely. And also, I got my Black Power earrings on. So this is a request. to represent Black History Month. I'm gonna give y'all 3 seconds to run so y'all can go get y'all Wakanda paraphernalia or your Black paraphernalia, your Martin shirt, your Martin Luther King fan that you have at the church on Sunday morning. You know, all of that. 3 seconds so you can join the party for the last week of Black History Month. Go ahead, go do it. All right. Did y'all go get y'all stuff? Okay. I gave y'all time to go get it. So don't act like I ain't give you no time to go get your liberation fan, your flag, your Black, your Wakanda movie, or y'all could have got a Wakanda poster, but something Black tonight. I am representing with the colors. Y'all see what that say, right? Okay. 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 Lionel, thank you for joining. I see you tonight. Yes. The Black the Black Panther stuff. And yes, Blue Jay, you are always welcome. I appreciate your presence. Okay, you know what I'm saying, Mo? You see it, don't you? Oh, thank you. I was talking about the shirt, but thank you. It is for the last week of Black History Month. And the question that I was talking about tonight was the daddy effect. Are women out here calling their men daddy? And what do you think about that? Do you think it's a term of endearment for a woman to call her man or her partner daddy? Do you think that that should be something that could be equal across the board? Is if a man was out there calling a woman mommy or mama for a term of endearment? Should it be used in only certain contexts, only in the bedroom, not in front of kids? Do you think if a person refers to you as daddy or mommy that they have those type of issues, daddy issues, mommy issues? That was the question that I had on the panel today. Thank you. It stems from Monique always referring to her boo thing as daddy. As I said, there are a number of reasons of why people will call their man daddy or call their partner daddy. I would assume that some of it is to show that he's the boss or in charge, to show that you're being totally submissive to that man. He's a protector, or he's just doing what he's supposed to do as a man or for you. And then even in the bedroom where women refer to him as daddy, you would hope that maybe she's total submission or loving what he's doing. Some people in the chat are saying, Lotto says, don't call me daddy. Blue Jay says, I don't feel comfortable with this sexually, but I know some cultures see it differently. Ivy Dream says, having fun. It's Mo Love says, I think some women only say it because their man likes it. Okay. And that's another thing, Mo Love. I'm glad you said that, because I was going to say, I personally don't demean women for calling their dudes that. I would have a problem if a man asked me to call him that. Like, would it be an issue if a man asked you to call him daddy? Like, yo, when you with me, call me daddy. Like, we over here at the store. I need you to call me daddy. Or you be like, hey, Jeffrey, hey, Jethro, I'm daddy to you. What do you think of that? Like, because there's some dudes out here doing that. Like, is that an ego thing? Like, what is going on? What is going on? Like, what you mean? Call you daddy. I got a daddy. I got a daddy. Now, if you say I got a daddy, and then he want to lose it on you, you already know you got to leave him alone. Because Jethro out here mad because you're not calling him daddy. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. What about the man who wants you to call him daddy? I would think that person may have some type of issue, or even if he tried to explain it to you like it's some territorial thing, or like, woo, what do you do? It looks like we have Simon in the back, y'all. I'm going to pull Simon up, so let's welcome Simon as he hits the panel. Thank you, Simon, for joining. Happy weekend to you. Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday. How you doing?
I'm well. Do you know that it is the last week of Black History Month here in America?
Yes, and Black History Month in America is in February. In
Yeah.
the in the UK is in October.
Oh wow. Really? Oh
Mm.
wow. So Simon, I had three intermissions while I went on the show, and I had people go get some type of black paraphernalia to represent the last week of the month. And Simon, I don't see you with anything black on. What's going on?
My background's black. My face is black, and
Okay.
I have a black ex-wife. So that's my three.
Okay. Okay. Ivy Dream says in too worth and too short, get in where you fit in. Blue Jay says, even if it isn't an absent daddy, his place is filled. So Simon, I am talking about the who's your daddy effect. There are a lot of women out here who refer to men as daddy, whether it be sexually or in their everyday life, if it's their husband or their boyfriend or anything. Are you a man who likes a woman to call you daddy?
Um, Not really.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
because I got children, but each to their own. I mean, it depends on what capacity that is. Like, um,
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind it. Like, I'm not gonna tell. I'm not if she's shouting out, "Daddy," I ain't gonna say stop. You know what I mean? It's just, so it is what it is. Isn't it? It's just like, yo, okay. But I do get this sort of correlation. Do you get what I'm saying?
Okay.
If because most the thing about relationships is if in terms of like a man like really being like taking on a woman is the thing of you are sort of taking up a capacity that your father is no longer sort of fulfilling.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe there's a whole load of truth in that.
So let's say that you've been dating this girl for like 6 months, and now
Mhm.
she just stopped saying Simon, and she's good morning, daddy. I'm gonna call you later, daddy. What you want to eat, daddy? And your kids are in the vicinity. Like, would you
Oh,
find that inappropriate?
not at all. I mean, most of the time, when I've been in relationships, they don't call me by my name anyway. It's
Mm,
either yeah, because if you got a child, it's like it is daddy. Do you get what I'm saying? So do you get what I'm saying? It's like when you
uh-huh.
got so the child like you don't want a child to call you by your first name. So the mother will go, that's your daddy. Do you get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
then the mother adopts that, or the
Mm-hmm.
person who in a relationship adopts that. Do you get what I'm saying? So then that's when I've found that she starts calling me daddy without me even asking her to do it. You get what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
True.
Which sort of makes sense.
Mm-hmm. That does make sense.
So it's not sort of like but if it's just like a dating thing and it's like it's like yo we had a first date and then like you know things happen and then we're in a hotel or something and she starts calling me daddy, then I start thinking a bit like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
maybe there's something else going on here.
Completely understand that.
Hmm.
Now, can you understand reasons why she would refer to you as daddy? Like,
When we just first met, well, I don't know, there may be something going on. Maybe she wants a daddy, maybe she wants
mm,
someone to play that role. I mean,
and
I've been
you ain't
called
trying
shit.
to be that daddy for
I don't mind, like I don't really care. Do you know what I mean? I really don't. it's, it's not, it's not a big deal. Like, I mean, sometimes it just depends on, if she's cool or not. You get what I mean? Like,
hmm.
if there's some sort of trauma going on there,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
that's different. But I mean, apart from that, why not? Do you get what I mean?
True, true, true. I was wondering. So, what do you think if a man always refers to his lady as mommy? He be like, "Yo, you trying to go to the gym tonight, or you trying to go to the club tonight or something?" And dude be like, "Nah, son, my mom ain't let me out the house tonight. You know how mom be tripping." Like,
Yeah, I find that kind of worrying. But I,
so So you don't think that a man should refer to his lady as mommy, mom, none of
Yeah,
that?
it depends. Again, it's the same sort of correlation in terms of like, if the mummy's playing the mummy role in the house, it's like your mummy, right? It's like I ain't gonna
Yeah.
call you by your name. Like
Mhm.
if you got like a child, and so if you got that sort of bond, then that's kind of different. And but if it's just someone that you just randomly like, if we went on a date tomorrow, I'm just not gonna go, yo, mummy, what do you want for breakfast or some shit like that. Like,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? Like initially, but I don't think it's a bad thing. It just depends on your status. Do you get what I mean? Like
Mhm.
that's because you might be a mummy, like you might have
Mhm.
kids and shit, so it might be cool for you. But
Mhm.
for someone who doesn't have kids, it might seem a bit odd. Do you get what I mean? It's like what are you calling me mummy for already? Do you get what I mean? It's like it might be a bit odd. So it just
So
depends on
a
the
dude can call
situation.
me mommy all the time. Like he can call me mommy
Mm-hmm.
all the time, but he can't call
Mm-hmm.
me mama. He can't call me mom. He can't
Mm.
call me. He can't be like, mom, I'm about to go to work. No, you gotta be like, mommy, I'm about
No,
to
no, no.
leave and go to work. You know, like,
Yeah, no, I ain't. Yeah, mommy's different to mom. Do you get what I mean?
yeah.
Like that's like
Hey, Foxy.
you know. That's a bit
Yeah.
different. You know what I mean?
So let me read some of the comments.
That's like,
Go
yeah, go
ahead,
on.
Simon.
No, I'm just saying that's like some sort of, I don't know, maybe like there's some trauma bonding going on there. So,
Let me read some of the comments. Mo says, it depends on how he says it. Definitely. Blue Jay says, I've had a hard time understanding that dynamic because father's influence is never sexual, whether they are present in your childhood or not. I'm going to get back to that, Blue Jay. Blue Jay, never say never on that. Unfortunately, I would prefer he not say it, though, is what Mo Love says. If he's joking around, I could laugh, but if it's serious, then I'll get spooked. Thank you, Foxy, for joining. Love you so much. Foxy says hi to you, Simon.
hmm
Blue Jay says, to Lionel, sadly, I guess I should preference should never. So, I was going to say that a lot of people think that it's gross when a woman calls a man daddy sexually. Blue Jay says she has a hard time understanding that because the influence of a father is never sexual. I did reference Sigmund Freud at the beginning of this show and how Sigmund Freud theory of psychology was that every child was sexually attracted to their parents. He also came up with the derivative of penis envy, where he said that women were totally, let me make sure I wrote my notes for that, but he said that women were crippled or obsessive over the need to have penis in their life.
wow.
Modern psychology now has moved away from Sigmund Freud's theories and his thought
Mm.
of psychology, but just to reference some things in Blue Jay's thing about a father never being a sexual influence. According to that man, Sigmund Freud, he would say that a father is.
Could
I
I just read?
personally go ahead.
What does that say? I've had a hard time understanding that dynamic because a father's influence is never sexual, whether they are present in your childhood or not. Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Mm-mm.
So calling your man daddy sexually could be, is what she's saying, could be basically gross and weird. Like your dad is who you have in your life, and he protects you and provides for you, and then you laying down in the bed and you calling somebody else daddy. Some women be like, I got a daddy, I ain't
hmm
calling you daddy. That's
hmm
just it.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was saying like earlier in terms of like it depends like if it depends on your situation. Like if you're sort of like in a like a relationship, um a long-term relationship be that, then it's a
Mm-hmm.
bit different to just sort of hooking up with someone and calling him daddy if you haven't had a daddy in your life. Is like that's like
Mm-hmm.
it might be a bit odd. You get what I mean? It's like maybe.
Yeah, I don't think there's nothing wrong with it. I think that if you've been with a dude for a long time, over a couple of years or something, you calling him daddy in the bedroom, hey, do what you do.
hmm
Like, and I personally don't think it has any type of sexual influence with your father. Like, you know, you just to say daddy in that type to me is like total submission. Like, yo, like whoo, just do what you do. Like you just got it, and no thought of my daddy in Houston or none of that shit. Like it's because it's completely a controlled thought and compartmentalized, and one has nothing to do with the other. But when I think about the fact that my dad has provided for me and everything all my life, and I've moved into a situation where I am with the man and living with the man, and now he's taking care of me and providing for me and protecting me, he is essentially my daddy. Like if I have committed to him on that level. So for me, I would have no issue with that at all.
That's when I'll expect it. Like
Yeah.
so, this is different. I'll be like, call me daddy.
Foxy Moon says exactly. I don't call my husband daddy unless it's around the kids. Okay. And Blue Jay says, I don't think you said anything offensive. You're good. Randy SoCloud says, your dad is not your man. Of course not. Your dad is not your man. That's what we said. And Lionel says, I was joking with Roz when she said, I might think it's gross and weird, but I also deny she does know how to read between the lines. Yes, definitely. Blue, I agree. I don't, but some guys he had wanted me to call them Poppy because of my background. Yeah, see, y'all. Okay, am I tripping? Because I don't think everybody is agreeing with me, Simon.
No, I think they are. It's just there's just this thin line, isn't there? It's like it just depends. Do you get what I mean? On the situation, like that puppy sort of explanation is kind of good because it's the same sort of thing. It's just if you feel comfortable with someone to an extent where you're bonding like that, it's like ain't no thing, but it's just like it depends on what the situation is. So
Cool. Thank you, Simon. I definitely appreciate you being on the panel. I am going to ask you about this TikTok series that's been going on. I'm not sure if you've been watching it, but before I do that, I want to thank people like Randy SoCal in the chat, Blue Jay, Foxy Moon, Lionel Suggs, Ivy Dreams, who said that Freud is full of shit. Yes, he is, Ivy.
wow.
Also, if you have not hit the like, you guys, please hit the like. If you guys have not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe. Also, it is the last week of Black History Month. So I am asking you guys to go get your blackness on. Get your little paraphernalia tonight for the show. Simon and I are going to step away for the next 2 seconds to let you guys go ahead and get what y'all need so that y'all can be sitting up here. Whether that is a liberation flag, a black cup, like a Black History Month calendar, but something to let everyone know that we are on one accord tonight. Okay, I'm gonna be.
I'll give it to give me a minute.
And I am back. I hope you guys were able to go get some type of black paraphernalia for tonight's show. We are repping hard for the last week of Black History Month. Even if you want to come up here and share your whole Black History Month story. Some folks fired some people doing Black History Month. If you fired some people doing Black History Month, I understand it. Work is work. But it's Black History Month. Blue Jay says, I totally get talking to Foxy Moon. I totally get what you mean by that. I've had the feeling when asked, to talk dirty on the spot. Yeah. I'm glad you guys are in this conversation. None of the women in my house ever addressed their men as daddy or poppy in a term of endearment. And Randy SoCal says she's the only one. No other woman called me that. They just called me Randy. So I did mention, Foxy, that some people were saying that I don't think Simon's back. That some people were saying that calling a man this is also can be a term of endearment. Showing that he's a provider, showing that he's the protector of those certain things in their life. I actually came across an article that had 15 reasons of why a woman would actually call her man, call him daddy. And one was being she sees him as a protector. Another crazy one was that he makes the most money in a relationship. They mentioned that because she's younger and when she's with him, she feels daddiest. Crazy things like that, but real logical things that I could possibly understand. For me, the biggest has to be that she's married to him or she's in this serious type of relationship with him where that would be appropriate. I also think that she shouldn't be calling him daddy in front of the kids unless those kids are their kids, like together, in my opinion. Like, hey daddy, because the kids here and then the kids understand that, but then as far as like the whole bedroom thing, I feel like to each his own. I am definitely like a daddy caller in the bedroom. Take it how you want to take it. Has nothing to do with the thought of my biological father. Welcome
Okay.
back, Simon. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, I brought my piece of Black History Month, which is I don't know if you can see this book.
Yes, Simon. Look at Simon. Understood the assignment tonight. Go ahead. And Simon, what is that? Who is that book by? And what is it about?
It's by Dick Gregory.
Okay, cool. Oh, I love Dick Gregory. Yeah. Rest in peace to him too.
He was like your first black president, apparently.
He was a great comedian who had great information on political and social things going on in America and for Black people. He definitely was that. He also talked about healthy diets and how we should eat and most importantly drink water. Dick Gregory was that man. Thank you, Simon, for bringing that literature on this show tonight, and that you chose to show a good Black man tonight for Black History Month. Great one. Yeah.
I'm more blacker than people think. Don't worry about it.
I know you're black. Like yeah, like
I got a whole bookshelf full of this stuff.
oh wow. Yeah, so thank you so much. So Simon, have you been watching this series called Why the F Did I Get Married? It's on TikTok. It's like this new craze of this woman who was in a relationship with a man. They got married in a year, divorced in a year, and she had 50 episodes, short episodes, probably 3 to 8 minutes long, and she spoke about why she got married, the disasters of that marriage. I think that Foxy's trying to come up. The disasters of Foxy, the disasters of that marriage, and just what was good and what was bad about it. Have you seen those episodes?
I'm literally not on TikTok, so
Okay, me either. But they have like if you look on YouTube somewhere, you can see it, and a lot of people are doing this.
You have a clip? Do you have a clip or something?
Oh, I don't do the whole sharing of people video, Simon. That's too complicated for me. I'm sorry. Yeah,
maybe I can find it.
It really is.
Yeah. Thank you, Foxy, so much for joining. Happy Saturday to you.
Yes, Shabbat Shalom.
I hope your weekend is well and
it's going good. I got my garb on right now.
You're representing for that last week of yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
And I got some books. I got The Black People Are Indigenous of America.
Okay.
By Kimberly Norton. I got Black Indians, The Hidden Heritage by William.
Wow.
That's what it looks like. And then my last book is Afeni Shakur.
Yeah.
Tupac's mother.
Thank you
Nice.
so much, Foxy. We appreciate that, and everyone in the chat appreciates that too. I'm definitely going to type these books in the chat if you guys want to locate them.
Yeah, I also have, and I encourage everyone, even it doesn't matter whether you are the so-called Black person or you're so-called white, it's a must on your bookshelf, 100 Amazing Facts of the Negro by J.A. Rogers. It will tell you, it's very, very fast, a fast book to read. It's not a novel. It's 100 facts that J.A. Rogers did back in he was doing research back in 1912, but I think he published the book in 1938 or so, give or take. And he brought the receipts to let us know that, hey, it wasn't only Black people that were slaves. In fact, there were more Negro slaveholders that were enslaving white people brought over from Europe, from Ireland, Germany, that were, prostitutes, destitutes. They were the lower on the totem pole, brought them over to the States. And and this is back in the 1700s, that there were, and progressive New York State had a lot of white people that were enslaved.
The immigrants, yeah.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So when I brought that onto my platform and I was, reading some of that stuff, one of the women, who's a big, component and subscriber to the channel, she's white. And she was like, wow, I didn't even know all that. And I'm like, they don't talk about that in the schools. They don't want us to know that at once upon a time, the tables were flipped. And that's why they're fighting harder now to suppress, get all the books out of the schools so that you don't know what really history was all about, and try to rechange and revamp things up. So yeah, we really need to read that book, because that tells us a lot of stuff. And like what Simon showed us with Dick Gregory, Miseducation of the Negro by Carter G. Woodson.
Yeah.
No, I'm not white, but I'm sure I have some ancestors that were.
I didn't know if you wanted to address that question.
My nationality, my ethnicity is my mother. On my mother's side, they're Jamaican. I'm more Caribbean than anything. Is Jamaican. My father's side is Cuban. Mm-hmm. So, and that's all in the Caribbean. So most of the people in the Caribbean were and are a melting pot. Had Europeans that were brought over. There were more slave Africans brought over to South America and the Caribbeans than they were in what we call United States. So definitely not only Black history, but know your history, know where you come from.
Yes, Dwale. Thank you for answering that question for him. Dwale is actually one of our Somalian brothers.
Oh, okay. Big up to him.
Yeah, he's a good guy. So, Foxy, tonight we're talking about the daddy effect. And what do you think about women who refer to their man as daddy? And are you one of those, in any respect?
Well, when the lights go out, I have been asked a couple of times, can you say daddy or papi, right? But it's cringeworthy to me. I don't say it unless my children, when they were younger, I would say, go to daddy, or daddy, what are the kids, if he's around. And my teenage daughter now, she's like, Mom, stop calling dad daddy to me. That's dad. She was like, it sounds nasty now because people have sexualized the name. And I'm like, wow, and she's 16, and for her to be like, I think it's somewhere along the line, it's a blurred line. It does kind of feel a little uncomfortable saying it. And when you think of daddy, because I still called my father daddy. It and then it turns into a sexual, I don't know. It's a weird spot. It's a weird name.
Yeah, I was saying, out of all the pet names that men and women call each other, whenever a woman refers to a man as daddy, it always seems to be the most controversial pet name that a woman could refer to her guy as. And why is that? I was also asking Simon about like if it was reversed, could like a man always call a woman mom, like, hey mom,
Mhm.
thank you, mom, or something like that.
Right, mom or mommy,
Yeah.
mamita. Mhm.
Yeah, what would we think about that? Also, I had a question of if he came to you and told you to call him daddy, would that be a red flag to you? Like that's how you gotta refer to me as daddy.
Yeah. Like it,
Yeah.
off the bat, if he's like, I
Oh
want
yeah.
you to call. Yeah, that's something. I'm thinking you got mommy issues. I'm thinking you want me to be your mother, and then we're doing this whole. Yeah, it could be a little sign of a red flag there.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for answering that, Foxy. I do want to respect you at all levels. So thank you so much
Of
for
course, I love you. You my sister.
answering. Now, we were talking. I also am talking about that series or this new craze going around with this black woman who's been talking about why the f did I get married.
Oh, I saw like not the trailer, but I saw a picture of it or something like that. So
Yeah,
where's
it was
that at?
horrible.
What's
It
going
was
on with that?
50 episodes of a lady who talks about this horrible relationship she has with a man. When she got with him, he basically claimed that he was a VP of a company. They met during COVID. They were living together. They met during COVID. They started living together during the COVID. What is it? Quarantine.
Right.
Within that year, they got married and they were divorced. She found out that he had been married 3 other times. She found out that he had tried to scheme other women and it was far worse than her situation. And a lot of things that I wanted to point out tonight was the main things that she said was, although he was a pathological liar and although she saw many red flags, she wanted to believe him because she wanted to be married and she wanted kids. So I wanted to speak on the, I hate to say desperation, but the need of people to not want to be lonely, that they would accept and take anything. Like, do you have any thoughts on that? Oh God.
Or is it Simon wants to go ahead and
Yes,
chime in?
Sonny, would you like to chime in?
I don't mind. I think when you go through a period of time when you're separated from people, um and this is what they call lonely, right? But it's okay. But if you're not used to sort of interacting with people socially and things like that, or not used to having like instantaneous gratification, um let's say you like was in a long-term relationship, like I was married for example now, so I'm going through a period, but I've got to be very measurable about the type of attention I'm seeking, like in terms of the people that are around me and the gratification that comes with that, because it can almost be sort of euphoric when someone like pays you a certain amount of attention and you can
Yeah.
jump off the ledge. Do you get what I mean? It's almost like, oh wow, do you get what I mean? It's like, and it's also sort of like a thing of because if you go through a bad breakup or something like that, you always feel guilty about what's actually gone on. It's like, am I good enough? Am I not good enough? What happened? All this stuff starts running through your head. So when someone starts paying you attention and they're like, oh, you're the best thing since sliced bread, it's like, oh, so you realize like I wasn't wrong. So it makes you sort of like get into sort of like a space where it's sort of creating like a false narrative, when and then someone else can just step in and go, oh, I'm gonna snatch onto that false narrative because you're gonna start explaining everything to them, and as long as they agree with you, you have no idea because you're not going to start fact checking because you're spending quite a lot of time just speaking about yourselves. No one's going to start sort of having an initial conversation when they start dating, going,
Right.
what's your background? I'm going to do a police check on you. I'm going to take you to the doctor, see if you've got any STDs. Yeah, like, I have a raw conversation. It's like, no, okay, let's see how this is going because I've been alone for so long. Do you get what I'm saying? So I don't even want to
Right.
go there right now. This is something we can get into a bit later. So I can see what you're saying, Raz, in terms of like this lady, she probably just jumped in it, especially during the pandemic. Like there was like no one literally around. You couldn't really call people and just have a conversation in terms of health services, external sort of organizations that may be able to support you and all the rest of it. So that's totally feasible. You know, so yeah, it's a good point.
Thank you for that. Foxy, did you want to speak to that?
She did 50 episodes. Like, that is just blowing my mind, first of all. But okay. The pandemic and the lockdown definitely had people in a peculiar predicament. So there was divorce rates, there was domestic violence that was going up. I don't know the statistics, but I'm just hearing about it. And then if you are like how this woman was, kind of in that circumstance where you didn't have anybody, and now you're idle time, you're on the computer, you're on your phone, whatever, however you are engaging in social media, it's heightened. So yeah, like Simon was saying, you because you're not knowing the person right away, you just want the comfort, you just want somebody to just be there, right? Just not be lonely.
Yeah, you're vulnerable.
And I think I actually liked that whole pandemic, the lockdown, because it gives you an introspect of yourself. Some people don't know how to face themselves. Some people don't like to be alone with their shit and have to deal with themselves. So they, look for external comforts, and then realize that what you are attracting is really just you. It's your reflection. So there's some shit about you that you have to get right. And this is why this person is presenting themselves. And now she went and got married. So, you're doing this online stuff. People are going to show you just a smidget of themselves until you really get to see who they are, face to face. And I think that's probably what happened with her. She saw some things that she didn't see, while they were on quarantine. And now she's wrapped up with him. I mean,
Yep.
There goes another divorce rate. Boom.
Yeah, I mean, I was subject to that. I got divorced during the pandemic. So, but it's this thing about especially as
Yeah,
the
but
high
you were
rate was
married prior to all
context
that,
within
though, right, Simon? You were married way before all that stuff happened.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, yeah, decades before, but it was this thing of, it was mostly professionals, because like, what I had to acknowledge, like, over the last couple of years, was the fact that we was just professionals. Do you get what I'm saying? And when we were living a type of lifestyle where it's like, you wake up, you go to work, you don't really see each other. You spend more
Exactly.
time at work with other people than you do within the context of your marriage and your home. Do you know what I mean? Apart from weekends, holidays, things like that, and the precious moments and memories that you share with each other. So like, when people were sort of like forced to be in a position, especially with their kids, when their kids weren't going to school and stuff, to actually sort of face each other and go, okay, this is like, bar the professional,
Exactly.
the bravado and all the rest of it, that's when I think people started clashing and stuff like that. It's like,
Absolutely.
like, to talk about when you was talking about the slaves, do you know about the Slavs? Do you know where the slave term came from? The word
Yeah,
slave?
from the Slavic term.
Yeah.
Which were
Okay.
actually the white Europeans, and those they were calling them Slavs. So
So that's where it's kind of hilarious to me.
well,
It's just,
to kind of segue in, is that just like DG, as far as appearance. Now, I may have some features, right, that could look Negroid like, but my skin complexion would predict me to be something else, or predicate. So a lot of stuff happens is because of colorism and not so much racism. And so when you start to understand and overstand where everything started and who started it, and who you belong to, all that racism stuff falls out the window. Now, who we have a problem with is the people that shouldn't be, that are in these high offices and government officials and things of that nature, because they're the ones that stir the pot against the people. Now we have what you call preferences and prejudices, But as far as racism goes, you know, this is my own opinion, is that it doesn't exist, as far as, because race is what we're racing against, right? We're all just humans. So who are we racing against? Are we racing against another culture of, you know, people, or what, you know? And that race started off in the 1600s with Pope Benedict, I believe. So again, we have to do some understanding, because then we're going to walk around with this fake history that these people have taught us, and it's going to hate you against one another. And then what it really is boils down to is the complexion of your skin. That's what people really have a problem with.
Yeah, because most people are visual learners, and you're not really taught this from like a young age. Like, you know, the interpretation of what you see before you, like, versus like, this is why we have a huge problem with people like reading and writing and things like that. Do you know what I mean? Because you're not taught initially to be you know, a contextual learner. You're taught to be a visual learner, so that's how you just interpret things straight off. I was fortunate enough, like, I'm from the Caribbean, so like I was fortunate enough to sort of have a mother that was brought up in an island where she saw different races, you know, because it's the same thing. It goes back to the slave trade. Like, she taught me from a young age, like, there was Chinese slaves, there was Indian slaves. Like, I'm coolie, like, so
in Jamaica,
you know,
right?
I'm from St. Lucia, but
oh, you should say okay. Yes, but
yeah.
Jamaica.
Oh my God, Simon, my mom's from St. Lucia too.
Hello, Ross.
From Castry, St. Lucia, Barry.
That might be your cousin right there.
Community. Yeah.
Hope not.
Oh my God. Like, do you know any? Okay, I don't want to say. I won't put it in the back.
That's fine. Yeah. Funny how things work out, right?
Yeah,
right.
I didn't mean to cut you off, Foxy. I'm sorry.
No, but it's true. Like even in Jamaica, it's the same thing. There are, you know, Asian Jamaicans. There were Indian that they would call them, you know, a slur. But yeah, it's a whole textile of people over there, and you know, I'm hearing a lot that overseas and even in the countries, it's not as bad with this so-called racism as it is here in America, in North America.
Yeah, I hear that a lot too.
Yeah, and it's like they don't go out the way, you know, they ask you, you know, who's basically who your tribe is, who you from, like who's your family, what background are you from? Not so much like, yeah, it's weird. I never got that when I was growing up. It was just like, what's your nationality? That's how we spoke. What's your nationality?
Yeah.
A
lot of people in the chat are saying, I like what you guys were saying in regards to meeting someone during that quarantine time and feeling like you needed people and seeing a reflection of yourself. A lot of people were saying things in the chat. Lionel Suggs said, I don't always believe that reflection stuff that needs to be re-examined. I love the lockdowns. I enjoy staying.
Yes, me too.
That's what Ivy Dream said. Lionel says C-19 didn't affect his life at all. She says that wasn't living a life to your full potential during that time. A lot of people, I enjoyed that time. I actually got closer to my partner during that time.
Okay.
So it worked out for me. DG said he got closer to his wife. I think this lady was just the term desperately dumb. Like, I think that she just was just wanted it to be right. And I feel no sympathy for her. And, you know, I feel bad about myself because I feel no sympathy for her. And I think that I think that social media has saturated all these everyday stories and everyday things that happen to people now and make it seem like, and make it demonize that person who did it. Like, that man hasn't done nothing that any other man has possibly done, and he was a criminal. Like, and she herself was seeking certain things. Like, she said things like it was wonderful to not have to pay a bill anymore, and coming from being a single woman and always having to work, he took care of her financially. So you put yourself at risk for certain things, in my opinion. If you guys haven't seen the video, y'all can definitely see the video. It's kind of complicated for me to share the video because I don't know how to do all that. And I ain't never really been interested in trying to figure out. But
Yeah, I hear you.
I just think that it's it was 50 episodes. I'm mad at myself for sitting there watching it. I heard it on the radio the other day going to work, and the woman was like, "Oh, this lady put out 50 episodes," and she said she only got to like the 19th episode. And I was laughing, cracking up from what she said. And she was like, people just have no lives to be spreading things like that and listening to it. And then myself listened to all 50 episodes. And I was totally agreeing with her. And it was never a point when it was like, oh, I can't wait for her to get to episodes. It never was at that point. Like, it just always was boring and just what people go through. Like, what happens? I don't feel like she was a victim of anything. She called a couple of girlfriends, talked to a couple of ex-wives. Like, like, come on. Like, why? Why is this okay to put this on and I'm talking, y'all, let's just stop talking about it. Let's just stop talking about it.
No, but it's true. Like, why put it on social media? But a lot of stuff now, regular relationships, or even if they're not, everything is just for show now. There's nothing that's held back. And so, yeah, she probably is caught up in that whole thing. She's looking at social media probably, I want to be with somebody. And what was going through her mind. And then it's like, okay, now you take on this person. I'm like, where's your spidey senses at? Like, nothing peeked at you. Like, this is a red flag.
Yeah. So, Simon, it looks like you sent me the link.
I think that's it. If that's the same thing that you're talking about.
Yeah. I don't know how to do that, Simon. Like, am I supposed to go to the bottom where it say present and then hit the link or what?
Just click it.
You just click it. Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. What happened to the see? I lost the whole thing. Hello?
Well, we could
Maybe
see.
Wait a sec. Let me see. I might be able to present it.
Yeah, go ahead, Simon. I give you closer. Can you share the video?
All right, let's see if we can do this. Is this the right person though? You've looked at it, right?
Her name is Risa or something. Yeah, that's her. Yeah,
is that her?
Yeah.
So you can pull. If you click that, you should be able to pull it up. There you go.
Okay.
So
look at you, my girl.
Hidden wealth.
She's getting all sophisticated.
Paying for her rent and bills, but would fake phone calls with financial advisors and find excuses not to pay. He even said he was working as the vice president of a condiment company. She discovered he was in fact unemployed and cheating with his ex-wife. Her suspicions came to a head when she was asked to provide her spouse's social security number for a new job, only to discover he had lied about where he lived, where he went to school, and said she was forced to run a background check on him. Her ex-husband has now hit back at her claims, telling her to stop lying.
The real reason I left you, you cheated. I caught you in the house with Bradley.
Regardless of whose side you're on, the dramatic saga has left online users second-guessing their own partner's credibility.
Bing! I need social security numbers. Offshore account. You have offshore account.
you can pull it back.
Nah, that's cap. Like the kids say, that's cap.
Yeah, that's terrible. Like,
I think that's all staged. If you looking
you
at
think
it,
it's all staged?
yeah, man. Like this, I'm not even. Everything is a show right now. I can't trust what I'm really seeing because, like, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is a lot of stage stuff, but at the same time,
yeah.
some people, especially, during I remember that time during like 2019, 2020, there was no other way to actually sort of get stuff out. People felt really isolated. People in different situations. I think now that we've come out of it a bit more, like, if people are still doing that, that's a bit different. But it's just, especially during that time, it was quite harsh for a lot of people, especially if they didn't have family and friends around and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, I would feel sorry. I'm feeling sorry for the people that genuinely went through that. But this looks like a show. Like it's just
Yeah.
like it's a play. Like it's not real. This is just something to incite people, get her views. You know, TikTok paying people, Instagram paying people. So who knows?
Y'all, let me get to these comments because I know I see EAE with some disrespectful stuff up in there. First of all, EAE talks about, can we talk about how polygamy is the future and should be
EAE's in the
embraced
building.
more?
Jesus
Okay,
Christ.
EAE will get
I don't know, but you should bring that up though.
DG says EAE polygamy exists in America and it's called, what is this? Dating. Now EAE says all three of y'all are Jamaicans. He is so disrespectful.
He ain't got ears. Like,
right. Unless he came in late.
Blue Jay says, I'm still here just listening. This is very interesting. Ruko Style, thank you for joining. Thank you for coming on this Saturday night. I know it is kind of late, and Mo Love is laughing. For you guys who are joining, it is the last week of Black History Month, so I am asking everyone to have some Black History paraphernalia if you are trying to hit this panel. And while you're sitting there masking in all of this intellect that is being presented tonight, we are talking about the daddy effect, you know, women who call their men daddy. And what are your thoughts on that? Do you think these women have daddy issues? Can a man refer to a woman as a mama or as a woman being his sole provider and things of that nature and giving everything that a mom would do?
I don't need a new hoodie. This is my uniform for YouTube. I wear a suit in real life.
That's Simon's uniform.
Yeah, so cool. So how you guys doing this Saturday? What was going on for you guys? Now it's like, you know, early Sunday morning, but how has your weekend been?
You wanna go ahead, Foxy?
Well, today, since we're in Sunday, would have been my dad's 68th birthday. So yesterday, Saturday, I pretty much spent all day crying. And because I'm watching things and certain things are reflections of me and my dad, and I'm a daddy's girl. So yeah, I'm saying daddy in that context. So yeah, and he passed away in last April unexpectedly. So yeah, it's not like he was sick or anything happened. He had a heart attack and he was out eating, went to his little bar, went to go eat, had a heart attack.
So sorry to hear that.
That's how I'm doing. I'm gonna go out later on and get a little cupcake and get a candle for him and put it on my altar, and that's it, you know.
Yeah.
Remember the good times.
Yeah, that's always a blessing to be able to remember the good times. And another blessing is that there was a man in your life who created those memories with you. Like, I always think about that when I'm raising my daughter. I want to do things that are memorable for her when she gets older so that she'll have something to remember and that influence. So I'm always sorry for your loss, and I hate that that happened to you. But I'm glad that he was a man in your life who gave you that great influence.
Oh yeah, I mean, and you know, he taught me a lot, even to be a young lady. Like he was teaching me how to take care of myself, clean myself, all that. Like you just came from outside, go wash your ass up. And my mother, you know, she, you know, this mom, but my dad was truly the love of my life. Him and my mom were the loves of my life. Like I grew up in love, in family, you know, everybody was 2-parent household, 2-parent grandpa households, 2-parent great grandpa households. So yeah, and we were cool. Me and my dad was like BFFs as well. Like not just dad, but like he'd call me, he's at the bar. Oh my God, you got to see this beautiful lady. I'm sitting right in front of her. I'm like, Dad, I don't want to be your wingman. And I don't want to, like, no, I don't want to talk to these women. Just have fun, be careful, call me when you get home. So yeah, those are one of the things.
Hilarious. Yeah, today was my father's birthday. Well, the 24th was my dad's birthday, and I was kind of like,
Oh, he's a
yeah,
Pisces too.
yeah. I love my dad. You know, my dad is like my stepfather. He came into my life when I was 2 years old, but him and my
That's what
mom are
happened with my
still,
dad.
yeah, him and my mom are still married. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't know what um a great man would be. He influenced everything in me as far as like how a woman should act. You know, my dad thinks that all women should have long hair. My dad
Yup.
thinks that women should not be cursing, that you should have
No,
a
no red
certain amount of,
lipstick, no
yeah,
nail polish. I couldn't even get
yeah,
tattoos on my arms because he
oh
was like,
yeah,
if you wear a pretty dress, that's
yeah. I
disgusting. That's
defied all
tacky.
that.
Well, I don't have tattoos, but I do wear red lipstick and red nail polish.
Yeah, so
I honored him that way. I don't have no tattoos on my upper arms. Now my lower arms, yeah, that's a different story.
yeah, I got a couple of them, but my dad turned 60 today, so I was kind of sad
Well,
because
I say to him, salute to him.
yeah, you know, my dad is in Texas and I'm in DC, so I was a little sad about that, but I'll be going home soon. So yeah.
Yeah,
So,
man, we need,
what about
the dads, man. We gotta
Mhm.
Simon's a dad, we gotta big these men up because some of them actually take better care of their children than some of these women out here.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
And there is a statistic. I don't know the numbers, but they said that single fathers take better care of their children than some single mothers do. It's a higher percentage of single fathers. And I'm like, I could see that. I could see that because my dad was, he wasn't a single parent, but like I said, he showed me how to take care of myself and made sure I was a little girl, smelt right, even to the point when I was a teenager, he's like, you fucking,
oh,
you better be safe with that. That's exactly how he came out to me. You better be using protection. I'm like, God.
Oh wow.
Yeah, man. Salute to that.
Yeah, I've got those years to look forward to, but yeah. No, you're right. I mean, I literally think about this today, like, you know what I mean? Because it's kind of interesting because I've done so much to try and like bring her mother into her life, but it's just not happening. Like, so I've had to sort of like come to the conclusion that it's gonna be just me raising her, you know. So I try to seek out sort of any type of feminine energy to just make me understand what it looks like to be a woman. Do you get what I'm saying? Because I really don't know. I'm one of the sternest men you could like come across. I'm very rigid. I'm not practical, but I'm just like, I'm very logical, and she demonstrates certain things to me, behavior sometimes where it's just like, I ain't even got a woman around to turn around and tell me anything about that, but I'm not about to just let any woman in my house at the same time. Do you get what I'm saying? So yeah, so it's kind of interesting. So, but thanks for having me. I've got to run because I got to cook her breakfast. She's just popped up at 6 o'clock in the morning over here, and then I've got to think about lunch, dinner, and everything else. So salute to you.
Thank you very much. I guess a good morning.
Bye, Simon.
Thank you, Ross. Thank you.
Bye.
Right, take care.
Yeah, it is like 5 hours ahead of us.
Oh wow! Did he say he has breakfast? Yo, I'm feeling a little famous. It's already breakfast time over there. I had somebody on panel with his breakfast already.
The UK brothers.
Blue Jay says, Foxy, that's a positive view of gratitude. DJ Blue Jay, yes, it was born over there. Let me get down here because I know I'm kind of far off. Go to school, Dad. I wanted to read, somebody said, Black History Month needs to be taken away. Honestly, it's kind of an insult to give us the shortest month of the year to celebrate. Black History year over. No Black History year over here. Oh, okay, I got it. I'm sorry, Lionel.
Yeah, I kind of understand that as well because I mean, and I think it was Dick Gregory that had said that years ago. Like, are any other cultures doing that? Is that, I mean, now they are. I mean, now, but you know, back in the 60s, that was the thing. Like, and it was Carter G. Woodson who started, it was the American, I'm not, excuse me, it was the Negro History Week. And he did it in the week of Abraham Lincoln and I forgot who the other person was, in honor. And then it became, then certain powers that shouldn't be co-opted that Negro Week into Black History Month. So yeah, it kind of is like, I kind of had a debate a little while ago, Beauty Queen, with this woman on IG. And so I use the word so-called, you know this, when I go on my panel, I'll say so-called Black person. Well, she thought it was derogatory of me to say that. What happened?
Look at that.
Wow, 93.
He says my dad is 93 on June. We have the same birthday. The dude is still funny, and of course, married to my mom, 89 years old. Oh, wow. That's beautiful.
That is, and that's rare.
Yeah,
like to be up there in that age and still be married.
Yeah, he had another thing in here that he was saying about his father too. I want to make sure I read that really. Let's see here. Where was it, DG? I don't see it. I'm sorry. Not that. Like, I can't find it.
Who are you looking for?
DG's message about his father. Yeah, I'll have to find it.
Carter G. Woodson and Frederick Douglass. Thank you, Ivy. Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
He honored Frederick Douglass because that was one of his heroes, and Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln's birthday, which was like February 12th or so, and Frederick Douglass. So he did the
inspiration for the month. Yeah.
So he did the week as far as, you know, a memorial. And again, like I said, the powers that shouldn't be co-opted that and turned it into a Hallmark holiday. While the sentiments are good and great, and it feels good because you're celebrating your culture, but behind that, like Lionel said, is like, nah, we need to get rid of the Black, because when we're saying that word, right, it's still putting us down into that Jim Crow type terms that they use. So when you know the etymology of certain things, you these things don't affect you. But they know that if they use certain words, because you're not saying it's White History Month, you're not saying it's Japanese month, you're not saying it's Pakistani month. You know what I'm saying? Like they use the Black as this gimmick,
But they have Mexican American month and Mexican American Heritage Day. They have now Indigenous Day, and then they have like don't they have like some Indian stuff? Like, I mean, because
everything you said is nationality.
Yeah, true.
Black is the color of your shirt.
I got on the melanin.
But then you got all the melanin, which is what we should be saying, the melanated person.
Yeah.
Okay, because what you have on your shirt shows the different shades and complexions, but the shirt itself is the color Black. So now when you're saying that again, it's demoting you as nothing. It's in the 14th Amendment. They still have you. They haven't changed the amendment.
True, they have not.
That you still a quarter or 3/4 of a human? Nah, you better call me copper colored, melanated, I'm high yellow, whatever you want to say. But when you start using the word Black, it puts you in a pigeonhole, and they know this. This is why reparations is not going to be happening, because as long as you still somebody showed me when you do the census, and it's they have boxes, and it's African American, right? They put white, and then next to it, and Native American. Next to the boxes, there's another box to check off. Well, are you Black, but are you of something real, like nonsensical. But when you go to white, they're not asking, are they European white? Are they British? Are they Irish? But they have a whole plethora of, what type of black are you?
Hold that thought, Foxy. I'm gonna get right back to that because
Gotcha.
that is very yeah, that's some fire
Yeah,
right
man.
there. Ivy Dream says Carter wanted to teach us literacy. That decision is up to Black American descendants of slavery. Randy So-called, I really see race. I really don't see race. We are all human beings. Everyone is really black.
Yeah, at the end of the day.
Roz, DG says, Roz, for us Africans, our wives never call us dad. That is gross, but we call them mom. Wow. When we need them to cook us special food, mom, make me that food, please.
Right, because you're just begging at this point.
Ivy Dream says, that's my culture. It's up to us. San Jose, thank you for joining. I'm glad to see you in the chat. She's speaking to Lionel. Mo Love is speaking to San Jose. Thank you guys for being here and support me. I really, really appreciate you guys every night that y'all are here when I am here, and the fact that it's so late and y'all continue to ride with me. What you're speaking about in the census, Foxy, I totally agree. And I think it's that part where they ask you, like, are you black and are you African American with Hispanic descent? I mean, are you black with Hispanic descent or black without Hispanic descent? And like I say, for me, it's always a hard situation because my daughter's father is from Honduras and he's white, but my daughter was born here. And I never want to not recognize both cultures and heritages for her, but they don't have it where it's mixed nationality or anything, because you can be black but from different nations and different nationalities.
Right.
It's not there. It's all grouped into one pot, as you said, and that pot is black. And you always have to explain the kind of black you are. What kind of black is you? Where you from? What you doing? You know, that's how it goes.
But check this out. If you check off your Native American, they thinking you the ones that took the deal is living on the reservation, not realizing that you are the true indigenous people of the land. So yeah, you could check off your Native because you start messing with their head. No. But what kind of black are you? That's just like you said. But you don't ask the other people. You got they're white, and that's it. They don't even ask if you white Hispanic. Yeah, they have Hispanic underneath that, Native American, but black. We gotta identify. No.
Yeah.
Don't like that's not cool. It's not right. But then you want to give us the Black History Month and want us to go to Target and go support.
You're right, Ivy. You're right. Yeah. She is right about that. Ethnicity, race, and nationality are different.
Yes.
Sure enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man.
But I can't. I want to put both nationalities for my child because it's like I'm ruling out it. So I just never feel that shit. I just never feel it out. I leave it to her that when she becomes an adult, I teach her about her father's culture and of course my culture. And when she becomes an adult, if she feels that she needs to identify or want to identify with what the boxes tell her, then go ahead.
And that's crazy because it's like now you got to identify as a box, but growing up, you don't see it that way. You know what I mean? It's crazy, and it's not until you get into their indoctrinations, into their school systems, that you realize, damn, I'm a box. I'm in a box. You're not what your parents told you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Crazy. Definitely. Mike Dougie, thank you for joining the chat and salute to you. Thank you for your support always. Thank you. Ivy James. Yeah, I spoke way too fast with that. Ethnicity, race, and nationality are different things. She's so right about that. Yeah. But so what should I do, Ivy? What do you think about that? Like, we're in America, and like, how do you classify those things now? Because it's to the point now where some Afro Latinos, like, they recognize their nationality and their culture, but they don't recognize the race as that. Like, they don't associate.
Yeah, and the whole Afro Latino, like, that's not even. I don't even know who came up with that term, because going into my father, that he knows that he's Taino, Puerto Rican, and he has African DNA in him. But he never say he's Afro Latino. He says, I'm a Puerto Rican man.
Yeah.
Because everybody outside of the United States knows their ethnicity and nationality. Not everybody, because you have some people in the South that know that they were here. They know that they're part of this particular tribe. They're part of that particular tribe. But you got the powers that shouldn't be that come in here and confuse the people. They reclassified everybody. So now you checking off on a box that you Black when really you really indigenous and native to the land.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah, she should know both. Absolutely.
And she said she should acknowledge both cultures. And exactly that's what I do. Like, we speak Spanish. I speak Spanish to her and teach her Spanish. Her father no longer is here in the States, of course. But like my best friend is also Afro Latina, but she would say things like she wouldn't, girl, I just will not be around I won't be hanging around no Black Americans. You the only Black American that I hang around. And when she said that, it kind of put a pause on our friendship for about a good 2 years, because I realized that she felt that there was a difference between she and I. I only saw the difference of nationality. I'm in America, you were born there. But to say that, like, there's still
that's how some of the Caribbean people feel.
What the Black people think of Black people. And it's the last week of Black History Month. We can put it out there because we're trying to have love amongst all Black people of all nationalities.
Right.
But that's
all shades.
All shades, as the shirt shows you guys.
Right. All shades.
But that is what it was. Like, my own best friend said that. And in that moment, I realized that. So my at one point, the man I dated who was Black but not a Black American, he would say things, oh, you're braiding your daughter's hair like that, she's looking like a Nigger or like a Black American because she had hair like that. And this was a Black Spanish man saying this, like, yo, what is up with y'all? Like, what is going on?
They are colonized just as much as the people here in the
States. Rico Style says, I love my parents from Haiti, but I know where in Africa my ancestors came from. That's great. Blue Jay is speaking to Lionel. That's interesting. Never crossed my mind, but that makes a lot of sense. Ant Dog right back at you. I guess he's speaking to Ruko and DG Ruko Style. They must be from West Africa.
Yeah, I was going to say that most of the Africans that were brought over by way of the transatlantic were most likely West African, Ivory Coast, Ghana, Benin, Togo. Because we did genealogy. I didn't do Ancestry.com or none of that. Because in my family, especially on my mom's side, well, both my parents. So I have a similar situation like you, Beauty Queen, where my father, who just passed away, is not my biological, but my biological is Cuban, but didn't raise me. That wasn't in my life. And my dad, who passed away, raised me at the age of 1 when I was 1 year old. So he's all I knew. And up until I was about 4 years old, my first language was Spanish. My second language was English.
Yeah, my daughter was like that.
Yeah. And so I was able to speak with, to where my grandmother on my mother's side, that, my family from Jamaica, my grandmother was like, what is this girl saying? What is she speaking here? And so they had to learn, to speak with me. But, it wasn't like a big culture thing in our house. Like, we just knew we're all from the island. Everybody has a different dialect. They spoke differently, but my dad wasn't born here. He was born in Puerto Rico. But my mom is born here. My grandmother was born here. My great grandmother was from Jamaica. And I went over there and I saw the family and the lifestyle and the culture there. But so we knew about our history. We knew who great grandfathers were, great grandmothers, and things of that nature. So we know that it comes where that transatlantic slave trade, the tracing back to where most likely they would come from, and that's probably where his family might be from. He's in Haiti.
Yeah. No, that's cool. Yeah, but it's a major difference. So, It is sad. I mean, like the whole FBA and that whole conversation there, like, yeah.
Yeah, that spins my head. The Moors spin my head.
Yeah, it's just so much now that so many different groups and organizations for a Black person to belong to, because there's so many different things that can. Are there so many different elements that can categorize you as Black? So because of that, they have so many different organizations, FBA, what is the other stuff?
ADOS or something like that.
ADOS, yeah. Then you have the Caribbean people have one. People, Ivory Dream says people from Africa and the Caribbean should respect Black American descendants of slavery
You would
culture.
think so.
Let me tell you, Ivy Dreams is my girl. I love her. My people are Louisiana Creole and South Carolina Gully Geechee. We have our culture and organization. That's
but
right.
Ivy, I'm sure you know exactly, even in detail, who, because the Gullah Geechees, they have Seminole and Arawak, like the tribes, like to really, so you could even cement that in the ground, like, look, I'm here. And a lot of people, some of those ADOS and FBAs, and that goes back to the Garveyites, where Garvey, but Garvey was a Jamaican, and he wanted to, instill, like, we're going back to the motherland, which was Africa.
Yeah, he
got a right to say that because most of his ancestors were African, but not everybody's ancestors are from Africa.
Yeah, Marcus,
and that's where the whole that Pan-Africanism wants to pigeonhole, because I mean, they didn't know any better, I think the closest person that might have knew a little better was the Honorable Malcolm X, because he knew, but also his mother was from Grenada, so that's Caribbean as well. But he knew, like, okay, I know there's people here. You're indigenous to this land. So he knew that there were people here that were indigenous, and he knew that there were people from Africa that were here that are African American.
Oh yeah. So
yeah, like division. I think it's just division when it boils down to it.
She said she also had Choctaw and European ancestry. Yeah, that's my American experience. Yeah. And then it's the fact that, like, what do you think about people who have this argument? I spend a lot of time on CT and I support him, and he has a lot of others on his show who have a lot of things to say about Pan-Africanism and pro-Blackness. And
he ripped me a whole, because he was like, I was just like you. I was like, I ain't Pan-African, but I understand certain dynamics as far as, like, with Dr. Umar Johnson, and even though he's become more commercial and a clown, and if you want to say that, you see other cultures and ethnicities, you don't really see them dating outside of their culture or ethnicity, right?
Yeah.
So what Umar is saying is, why can't you stay within your Black community and marry and have Black children? And it can sound racist on the outside, but I get what he's saying, because no one else questions why Pakistanis are they marry and there's arranged marriage and they stay together. It's not like they're going out and dating Billy or Susan. Right? They're really staying within their culture. But when we do it and we step outside, it becomes like, oh, why are you dealing with the white man? Why are you with this white woman? Why are you with Becky? So I kind of get it, but I'm like, but you probably are not really African either. Like, you probably have Blackfoot in your family. You probably an Iroquois. Like, you cut it out. You're not from Africa. You're not from Ghana. You're not from Ethiopia. Like, stop.
Ivy says, hold on. He says AFR claiming Pan-Africanism is still the funniest thing ever. Ivory Dream says, where is the school, Dr. Umar? SoCal says, we all have Indian and European ancestors in America, being Black Americans. This is a comment in the chat. My mother told her great grandmother was and Dr. Umar asks, is not married. I was going to ask you, Foxy, did you see that video of that woman?
I did.
Came up there, Dr. Woman.
He's like, I do not know this woman.
Dr. Umar said you was with who last night?
I was like, now they know better. Like, her big behind and walk up
Oh
that
my
aisle. Like,
God.
you was with me last night. He's like, then he started quoting scripture. He was reading Psalm 23, like,
he said, "Oh,
no weapon shall form."
Oh no, not me.
Mhm.
DG says, at Foxy, with all due respect, the Black indigenous people in Australia and in Pacific Islands are part of a broader Black family. Would you like to elaborate, or Foxy, would you like to respond?
I don't know. When you say Black, it's like, what do you mean?
Yeah. EAE says, I want the best for Black people globally. If it makes me a Pan-African, then I guess that's what I am. But on a larger scale, I want the best for everybody globally. I definitely understand
That part.
Yeah, that part. We didn't all come from Africa. I think a lot of people agree on that. Fox, all humans are from Africa. That is what DG says. Rich Martinez, thank you so much for coming.
Rich Martinez. I know a Rich Martinez. Salute.
Yes,
Salute. Are you from the Bronx, Rich?
That says salute to you too, Foxy. He says hi. Mo Love is laughing. What you laughing at, Mo? EAE says if humanity derives from Africa, then everyone is African. Even Adolf Hitler, regardless of what pit stops your ancestry may have taken 2,000 to 5,000 years ago after they left the continent. Someone is asking Mo to hit the link. And Dog is saying, salute, Foxy. My mother and grandmother was your complexion, sister. It's my father's color. Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And I'm sure there's no mixture in it. That's just how it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I have on my mother's side, my great grandmother, her father was from England, from Britain, so European. But yeah, and I'm sure, like, if I knew what my biological, besides them being from Cuba, I'm sure there's some. I gotta look who you gotta look at who was the people that were in these islands. The Dutch, the French, the Portuguese. Some of the French were down in Louisiana. That's where you get the Creole, because they mixed in. And then you have the indigenous people that were already there in those areas. So I try to really refrain from saying Black, even though, because when you understand it more, so you're not hooked onto what they're telling you. Like, again, you're putting yourself in the checkbox, the Black, but you're not. You're everything more than just the color and the crayon. You are who your family was. But these people, the people that shouldn't be, are telling you this is what you are. And so, it's not.
So, Foxy, since it is the last week of Black History Month,
That's right, we're in the last week.
I want people to get it off. And we are women who are raising Black children, who are partners to Black men, sisters, and all of that to our Black counterparts. What do you think the Black woman's role should be in the community now, and are we upholding that?
That's a beautiful question. I love that you asked that. I would like to say that the role of the Black woman, the Black queen, the sisters, because we don't have big mamas anymore, and the older generation, right? Well, that's a man, but never mind. It's the archetype, right? I think that we need to get back into that essence. There needs to be this motherly, watching over the children, just making sure, not being in their business per se, but just being that involved the way the elders were when we were growing up. Because now we have a lot of young grandmothers that are going through midlife crisis, and they want to be out there, for the streets. And they missing the point. And now you have these little kids that are running out here 14 years old with guns, spraying up
Ooh, girl, yeah.
innocent people. Because you got these mothers, and I mean the fathers, but we were talking about mothers. The mothers, there should be this motherly engagement in the community, in the so-called community, or just in your neighborhood, in your household, in your PJs. Well, that's projects, because I still live in the hood in the Bronx. So
DG, I am so glad that you're enjoying this enjoying this stream. Unfortunately, I do not have a super chat. I do
no,
have a cash app if you would like to cash app, or if you have the mechanism to do that. It is RiseGirl37. If not, the thought is always greatly appreciated, and I thank you for your support and being here with us tonight. Ruko Styles says most of us Caribbeans have African blood, but FBAs or ADOS don't have African blood. They
right.
have Native Americans and
There you go.
Europeans. Oh wow, that's kind of deep right there.
There you go. Absolutely.
Oh, wow. Anyone with ancestry from England might have rural ancestors. Let me stop selling out.
Listen, and you know this. And you know this.
Lionel says,
I'm gonna capitalize on all that. That's reparations. I'm going over to the big dogs. Pay me.
When do
This
we
little
supersede
USA
this
that's not
and
giving
really
me
start?
nothing.
When do we supersede this and really start to build a quality future? Okay, so Lionel, do you think to talk about the greatness of the community is too much? I mean, like, yeah, you know, Lionel, I love you. I just definitely want you to okay, Foxy, somebody say I'm still Brooklyn Flatbush stand up. Not all kids need their fathers. I can somewhat agree, but do you believe that all kids need a father figure in their life? I am sorry, Cash App doesn't work in Germany. Understand.
Aww.
Just thank you for coming and being here.
Right.
EAE says FBAs and ADOS do have African blood. It's just diluted via 400 years of mixing with others. Ivory Jerry says, I'm ADOS and I have African, European, and Native American ancestry. I love how Ivory Dreams is. Ivory Dreams is always talking about like her ethnicity and nationality as far as like the love for it.
She gets it, yeah, because she gets it. That's an intelligent woman. That's who we talk. Intelligent people.
Exactly.
Wiley's in the building.
Hey, Wiley. Thank you guys for joining. I do appreciate that. If you have not hit the like, please hit the like. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. I do have the pleasure of having the beautiful Foxy Moon up here tonight. She has her own channel on YouTube, and it is Foxy Premieres. So if you guys have not subscribed, please subscribe to her channel. She has wonderful shows, Mindful Mondays, great discussions, and tells you a lot, very great for the soul. So you guys please check her out. I definitely appreciate you up here tonight. So I asked you about the woman's role in the community. So in the same respect, what do you think the Black man should be doing in the community? And do we think he's doing enough, or do you think he's doing enough?
He's kind of the same way as some of these mothers. He's living this glory life, where we don't have that engaging, teacher, role model. You don't necessarily have to be a drug dealer to be the role model that's who you want to be, and you don't have to be a doctor either. There's plenty of men that are civil service, blue-collared men, that work with their hands, and they're not, there's some, I don't see it, but there's not that engaging of the children and showing them, how to change a tire, how to do this, how to, be functional. But now everything's computerized. So it's like, damn, they're wiping out, the whole motor skills. But just, be more engaging with the youth. I know they can be a little combative because they're coming from a different, genre, if you will, a different age or what have you. But I think the problem is that the parents are being the children now. And so who's who's maintaining the fort then?
You're right about that. The wisdom. Where does the wisdom come from now?
Right.
Who's holding that down? What are we passing down? Like, I feel like we've lost like our sense of. I don't want to say culture. I just want to say, as a group of people, lately is as if we're lacking morals and ethics and things that we value for, like, want to value our brother and sister and love our brother and sister. Like, we're not exhibiting that from killing off one another,
Right.
or aiding the system to take each other down.
Right.
Over and over, like, we see it perpetuated in cases and in history, and it's like this big whole thing with the Atlanta attorney who's now in the thing, but she was the main one trying to bring down the young organizations, the rap organizations, bring them
Right.
down.
And wasn't it rumored that she was
racketeering.
sleeping with one of them?
Possibly so, for racketeering and everything like that. And now her record and how she's conducting herself is not of character and ethical standard. And we pedestalize these things, like she was in a church speaking on that and thanking God for what? Thanking God for keeping you this long, for keeping that cloth covered over you so that no one can see. Like,
Right.
come on, Foxy, were you able to put your channel in the thing?
I wasn't able to put the link because I think you have to be a moderator. You could well, I don't know if you could do it, but I just wrote it in.
Okay.
I wrote it in. It's Foxy Moon Premieres. Thank you, EAE. Thank you.
Yeah, like,
I also do tarot readings. Woo, for those who are interested on hearing about their love life.
Yeah, can you explain that to some? Because some people think that's like a psychic teller or something like that.
What was it? Who was it that Jay Savage? He was like, she sells snake oils and reads Uno cards. Yeah, I do read cards. I haven't I closed my calendar down for doing private readings right now because like I said, just with the death of my dad, I just want to take some time off from that. But I do come on, or I do shorts, and you guys can check out the daily, or not the daily. I do like midweek and Fridays. I'm supposed to be doing it today, but I didn't. But yeah, just I don't know what else to say. I just read the cards. It's intuitive, it comes to me, intuitively.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do spells. I don't do hexes. I don't play with the Ouija board. The card is, that's it. I don't go above any of that stuff. So yeah.
It's very spiritual based and spiritual aligned.
Thank you, Beauty Queen. Thank you.
Foxy has been very influential in my life. I think that in order to have optimal care, you have to have, physical wellness, mental wellness, spiritual wellness, emotional wellness, and physical wellness, also incorporating sexual wellness. Foxy is able to speak to you about mental, spiritual, emotional, and sexual wellness at that. Tell you many things that will aid you and help you in maintaining and aspiring, getting to your higher self. Listen to her, try her out. She has shown her works and her power in my life from who has taught her and led her. So it's a great experience, just learning the different crystals, learning about different oils, and and all those different things. And then she's just knowledgeable about the community, being in New York and being in it, being a mother, a Black mother at that. And right. Always here, I like transparency and authenticity, and that's why we buy Foxy. Like, it's not about people. I always say it's important how to get the message to someone, but also how that message is conveyed. You need to know who you're talking to in order to get that message to them. And I think we get that. Like, we're not trying to be Polly Posh and da da da.
Exactly. Exactly.
I live this, you know, like poof.
Yeah, because you see me, I'll come out here with some wild stuff. Like, don't think that I'm sitting on the monk corner, you know. Listen, I think people, thank you, Blue. I think people, again, going back to culture and things of that nature, our forefathers and foremothers, they practiced spirituality, if you will, not religion, right? They gave homage to what was giving them the crops. So they would praise the rain, the sky, the sun, the wind, the water. Everything had a spirit in it. Everything has a spirit in it, right? Animals, trees, things of that nature. So when you get these so-called, we're using black and white today, so-called white Europeans that put out this religion and indoctrinated people, it became spooky. It became scary. It became evil. You don't practice that type of stuff. Yeah. So it's taboo in Christianity when you hear somebody reading tarot cards. But lo and behold, and it's come to light that my great grandmother was a spiritualist and doing spiritual baths and reading tea leaves in Grenada and here in New York, in Brooklyn and in Harlem. So I'm like, and you know, she sit there and have her Bible too. Yeah. So we have to remove a lot of stigmas that other people told you who you are. Yeah. And think, you know, that's wrong, that's evil, da 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 da. No, as long as I'm not dabbling in anything that's you know, unsavory, I'm not affected by it. And if my family was practicing something way before somebody else, some man-made thing came through, then I'm going with the essence.
There you go, Foxy.
Ooh, thank you. Aw.
Yeah, Blue Jay is awesome. She's so awesome. She'll love your channel. She'll love your channel. Yeah.
Yeah, she should fit in.
Yeah, she'll love it. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I do have my Mindful Mondays so that people who are not interested in hearing about the cards can come over and hear conversations about Black history, about knowing that there were Black Indians, knowing that you Black people are indigenous to America. Yeah. Okay. Like, and then my Afeni Shakur, Tupac's mother. Like, let's be real. I have those conversations on Mondays.
Yeah, I think Afeni was awesome. I was reading that book right there. Oh God!
So I'm into it, and I haven't finished it yet. But I'm like, wow. And you know, I feel like when it comes to talking about the Black Panthers, because they also are part of this Black History Month.
Would you like to? EAE says, I know some beautiful Wiccans, aka witches. They're always using mulattoes with high sex drive.
Yo,
booster. Oh Lord,
so stupid. No, I don't know no Wiccans.
That was a girl.
You know, witch. That's another.
Yeah, that's another chick on YouTube somewhere and living her.
Yeah, I won't say I'm a witch. I say I'm
definitely not a witch. He's not speaking of you being a witch, but he's talking.
No, I'm a high priestess.
Yeah,
witches are beneath me. But so you know, going back with the Black Panthers, you know, when they started, it was because, again, when we're talking about the women and the men in the community and how the mothers should be there taking care of their children. Well, the children weren't being fed, probably were not being fed in school, or because of their color of their skin, right? So the Panthers came up with many things, and one of the things was having the free school lunch, or rather the breakfast program, where the kids would come into somebody's house. So it'd be like Raz Girl would have her breakfast. One morning would be all the kids coming to her house. Another day would be my house, or it was in a center, and they fed all the children in the neighborhood. And don't you know that the powers that shouldn't be co-opted that and made that the WIC program?
Mm-hmm.
Never gave the Black Panthers the credit.
Their credit. Well, of course. You know, they want to whitewash everything and take it as their responsibility. And then when it goes bad, they will say that we abused it and did everything to it, you know.
Right.
When it started
Yeah,
off
and
for a
Afeni,
different purpose.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Afeni doesn't get the credit. Mama Afeni Shakur does not get the credit that is due to her because she was very significant and intricate in the Harlem chapter in New York City. And
Yeah.
so when you hear the Panthers, it kind of glosses over her. And I'm glad that they did. I don't really like the fact that the Hughes brothers did the documentary, but they did justice. Maybe this is their way of
Mm-hmm.
saying sorry to Tupac. But I got to hear more about Afeni Shakur, and I was like, wow, she went to the same high school my mom went to. And, you know, there's a lot of interesting things, and I want to hear more about, like, she came from the South, and her sister came up to New York City, and they had a hard life, but they don't really talk about Afeni like that. And she got 20 other Panthers off on the Panthers 21 trial.
Yes.
That was a federal case.
Yes, a federal case. Come on, yo.
Come on. Like, you got to give her, like, please give her all her flowers, roses, give her the damn botanical gardens. Okay.
Yeah. Randy So-Called says, I'm teaching my son to be a boss. I'm not your average person.
Okay.
Just for a comment in the chat. Which isn't a bad word to me is what EAE says. DJ says, I'm going to subscribe to Foxy.
Oh,
I like her. She has the complexion of my younger sister.
Thank you.
Says, but in modern Christianity lingo, it probably is. Afena's documentary, Dear Mama, was amazing. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Socialism is bad. It is what they say.
Yeah.
Ivory, you're so right. Early
That's
stuff
right.
was started
Exactly.
by the Panthers. Exactly. And sometimes, like, come on, yo, let me tone down. Mo Love says, I really need that shirt, right? Okay, my boo thing got it for me, Mo.
Ooh.
Yeah, because he be just knowing what I like.
Yeah, it's dope. That's right.
Yeah, I love this. Like, oh, y'all, don't even let me like. I just love it because it's like everything that I am. So I appreciate it so much for him, for that he got it for me. And then, you know, it's the last week of Black History Month. So yeah.
Represent.
Yeah, Mo, I'll find out where he got it from, and I will definitely let you know. It says, I'll admit the way Afena would allow Tupac biological father into her son's life put up a lot of obstacles in his way.
I talked about that 3 weeks ago.
That's a good statement, EAE, when she said the way he allowed his biological father to be in his life. A lot of people think that it's very important to have a 2-parent home and for the father to be involved. And Afena made sure that that man Weldon had his presence in his life. Do you think that regardless, and there's another conversation going on that women should be with their biological their children's father, period. They should go back and make it work with their children's father. Do you think that women should be with a productive man who is going to be influential in that child's life, or it's more important for that child to be with their biological father?
So if the biological father is abusive and severely abusive, then no. If it could work, it's, you know, it happens to work out, then yeah, I don't see anything wrong with the biological father being a part of that child's life. Or the mother sticking it out with him. I think there are extreme cases where it shouldn't happen if there's some extreme situation going on. Here's the thing with Afeni, though. In hindsight, with watching the documentary and then also watching Billy Garland's interview that he gave about a couple of months ago. So Billy Garland was also a Panther. And you have to remember that the Panthers were under a lot of surveillance and scrutiny. And so what Afeni was doing in hindsight was just protecting her son from anybody that could potentially take her and her son out. She wasn't trusting too many people. The FBI were going to his schools when Tupac was little and questioning and asking, oh, where's your mother? Where's Mutulu Shakur? Mutulu Shakur was an intricate father figure in Pac's life. Now, Billy Garland had kind of split the scene and went about his business and, you know, had another family, but he stepped back from in that whole Panther thing because they were really knocking the Panthers off, locking them up, you know, and all kinds of stuff. So when we hear one side of the story and she's not here to really say, you know, well, this is why I really did what I did. But Billy's here, William Garland's here, and he's saying, you know, in so many words that she protected him. And so that's why there was this shift, you know, and Pac, you know, her kind of lying and saying, you know, well, you don't have a father or your father's dead and this, that, and the other, because she's basically protecting her son. Because remember, they're not, who in their right mind, especially the powers that shouldn't be, would let this little 23-year-old get out on no conviction in a federal case. They wanted her. So they're going to surveillance her. And she was pregnant at the time. So they're going to watch this baby. Billy knew this stuff. So yeah, we have to like not take sides, but understand the whole plethora of that dynamic. And this isn't a regular man and woman that just got together and think. This is the Panthers that we're talking about. Like they on the FBI's radar. So that's a special situation that you kind of have to understand it, like to be in it. And so I get it. She did what she had to do. He's not really mad at it anymore. And he doesn't talk bad about her. He just is like, you know, I'm sad my son is not here. But he got to speak to him, and, you know, the time that he did have, he got to be with his son. So, yeah. People need to move on and let him rest. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Foxy. Yeah, you're right. I think that it was such a bigger picture to that because of her, like you said, because of her influence in the Black Panther organization and the community. He had a whole lot of more surveillance on him. He had a whole different life.
Yeah.
You know, kids, you know, so.
And what he was trying to do, Tupac, was what we were just talking about right now, as far as being in that community, because he always was to the little girls and the little boys, like, listen, you know, teaching them and trying to unite the gangs, like no more war, like we got a bigger beast to battle than us fighting each other. And he was doing that at 19 years old. What half of us at 19 was not even thinking about that.
Yeah, you're right.
This young man was way ahead of his time. But he understood his assignment, and he tried to go in it in a roundabout way. But you know, the street is watching.
Yeah. So you said that you don't think that we should be celebrating Black History Month. It shouldn't. So are you saying it shouldn't be called Black History Month, or we just shouldn't be celebrating Black History Month?
I mean, if it's going to be celebrated, there needs to be more education behind it. Like they can't just keep giving, no disrespect, but I love him and he's my Baba, Malcolm X. There's more people. There's so many more people that don't get recognized. That is a shame. So it's like this powers that shouldn't be put you in, again, a box. You're only going to learn about Rosa. You're only going to learn about Malcolm. You're only going to learn about Martin. You know, they're not telling us that there was Black women aviation back at the same time with Amelia Earhart.
You
know, so I think if it continues, which it will, it's just that it needs to be a little more educated. And I feel that somebody said there needs to be teachers and scholars and philosophers in the community. Yes, and they need to really educate in the community more about how the real slavery trade went down.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, like really, you listen, tell the truth and nothing but the truth. At this point, don't cherry pick certain things out of history that you want to make it sound good.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me all of it, even if it sounds really horrible. I want to know it all.
So in regards to that, since we've come so far in history as far as like outcome and results, children now going to go to school with other kids with their complexion, folks having the same opportunities to educations and things of that nature. It is Black History Month and we are closing that out. What should we be expecting for our children in regards to education? What should our parents be? And your parent, I don't know if you're a parent of any children in school. Mine is in elementary. What do you think should be important right now to us in regards to our Black children's education?
Unfortunately, I think it should be, it's going to sound selfish, but you teach them your heritage. You teach them your culture.
Mm-hmm.
Because when they go to school, they're learning some Black history,
Mm-hmm.
but they're learning what the school's program is.
Mm-hmm.
And that's leaving out a whole slew of other people that they're going to miss out on.
Mm-hmm.
And they may aspire to be one of these Black people that invented stuff and created things and not know it because all they're getting is Rosa Parks and Malcolm X.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes, and Carter G. Woodson, absolutely. Mm-hmm. He's nobody puts him up.
Yeah, he's the founder of it. Yeah.
I learned about him 2 years ago, and I'm like, what? I'm 47. I didn't know nothing about a Carter G. Woodson.
Yeah, me and Boothing was like riding down the street, and then I saw the statue like here, and I was like, "Yo, who is that? I don't even know who that is." He was like, "You don't know who that is?" I was like, "No, I don't know who that is." You know him. You need to look it up then and find out.
Wow.
When I found out, I was like, "Oh my God!"
Exactly. And that's case in point. We are in our seasoned years, and we don't know, some of us don't know who that man is. And he was the creator of Black History Month.
Yeah, I did a show on it also. And I did it because I had felt like, yo, come on, are y'all serious? Some of the comments are saying, first time I heard that when a woman called the B word was Tupac, he lost my respect. I didn't care about it.
Yeah, my grandmother did.
I knew he worked for the white man unknowingly. The Black
people, like he did, and he knew it.
Lionel says Black people can make a celebration last all year, make an impact.
Oh, that's true.
And Love says it's true. Even someone's birthday lasts one day each year, and Thanksgiving, Christmas. Carter G. Woodson started the tradition to educate American Blacks. You are right. Thank you for all your information, Abby, tonight. There's not enough quality teachers in the community, teaching the young to be teachers of value and quality themselves. The parents need to help with this. They are not.
Right.
Okay, I guess he was answering what should we be expecting for our Black children. EAE, they don't even teach us about the Black legends like Janet, Cherokee D. Come on now, see, he out of control. We not
and Heather Hunter.
Yeah, come on. Every day is Black History Month, and Abby says, "I love the book, The Miseducation of the Negro" by
I gotta get that.
Yep. Yeah, I was thinking the same in regards to my brother. He is a teacher, and I love the fact that he is teaching. He has gone back and forth, so he has taught for like 3 years, and now he took a break, and now he's back doing it. But I'm always like, yeah, you need to be out there, influencing our young kids, our young Black boys. And he's like, like the parents need to influence and get a hand on it. And it's a lot that we can expect for the schools to do, but we as parents got to do a lot too. And I think it's a lot more for us to do, just because we don't want our child to be left behind, because they will.
Right.
We ain't got time to be trying to figure this out with her. They'll catch up when they catch up. And sometimes they'll pass your kid because they are this and because they need to meet a quota. So it's always on us to, and it's really, I hate to say that. I really hate to say
It's true though.
Yeah, but it's on us all the time. And I haven't been the best in that. Like, but my daughter, I'd be like, oh, I need to send an email. I need to do this. I need to do that. Like, yeah, like you're going to know that I am involved in this kid's life and I want my child to succeed and I welcome you to do it. And I want to make that job easy for you as much as I can. Like I want to be in line and on board with you. Like
absolutely,
we could be able to have this cohesiveness with the teachers. But
listen, they text me, they email me. My daughter tells me because I have a junior in high school, and that's it. That's the last. I got 2 big adults, and then she's my last.
Yeah,
I had a college meeting a couple of weeks ago. I was there. I didn't see too many, and I don't know how many students there are, but they should have been. Most of the juniors' parents should have been there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be active, proactive, and not expect the teacher to teach to educate your children, because they're educating other children as well. In this, you got 30 kids, 25 kids in the classroom. So you got to work with the teachers, and that's what I do. And Raz Girl sounds like that's what you sound just like me, because I've been doing that since she was in preschool, talking to the teachers, show me, give me a copy of her homework, so I know what you're doing.
My mom be like, calm down before you send the email, calm down before you calling people, because I be, no, I know my baby this and that, you know.
Right. Like, please, I gotta know what you're doing. So we all on the same board.
Where the homework at? I'm like, oh, we done did the homework. It's 3 weeks of homework in a backpack. Are y'all not picking it up? Like, it just be a lot. Like, it just, because you just need to know. And I'll be like, that could be a tactic to keep your child behind. You just never know.
Exactly.
That's what I think.
Right.
So, I could be correct.
No, I mean, it's good to be on point regardless, even if they're not thinking like that, because you just never know, like you said. You just never know. What is he talking about? Oh, look at the kids, Black community, yeah. It's all good. Wait, your mic is off.
I'm sorry. Lionel says, I'm sorry. This says, I was just talking. Roz and Foxy trying to have a high vibrational and enlightening discussion, and we're ruining it with the talk of porn. Lord forgive us. Yes, Lord.
Actually, he brought it up, so
pray for you. And Lionel says most parents aren't doing their homework with their kids, which is the point of homework. So true. So true. So true.
Because how else are you supposed to know? You don't know what they're learning, so you have to see what they're doing when they get home. Ask for it, ask for it, ask for it. And if the kids like, we don't have it, you better call the teacher in the morning or send an email out. We didn't get it. We need to know what it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stay on top of it.
How is it in NYC now with the mayor and the new law?
You mean Chicken George?
A lot of people like Mayor Adams, right?
Who likes him?
People who are not from there living there.
I call him Chicken George. You remember that movie, that show Roots?
Yeah.
And Ben Vereen played Chicken George.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he has some good qualities about him. But when I went to New York looked like a completely different place. Like,
right.
Like, just looked completely different. Like, yeah.
Well, that's under his administration.
Yeah.
Him and the other one before that. They're running it. I can't. He gets me so, my blood boils with him because he wants to be the 25th member to Wu-Tang. He wants to be hip hop mayor. No, you need to get shit in order over here. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, it is out of control, like for real. Like it's looking and my mom moved down to Florida a couple of years ago, but she still keeps up with the news. Like, Ma, it's looking like it's 1980, early 1990s all over again.
Yeah, that's what I
Like
felt.
the subways are filled with the homeless, the methadones, the crack addicts. Is back to that again. I lived through all of that. And I'm like, it's turning right back into it. It's not a good look. And that's under his administration.
Wow.
But when we had Giuliani, you know, that was the early 90s. And that's why they brought Giuliani in. And he was the Gestapo. He really was like not having any of that stuff. And of course, he profiled Black and Puerto Ricans.
Yeah, y'all had
stop and frisk. However, the crime rate was starting to go down. Because unfortunately, certain people look like they look suspect. Yeah. And they knew who they were profiling. It's not like they were profiling just any old body. Yeah. But some innocent people got wrapped up in that. But the most part, they knew who they were getting. And people weren't liking that. There were a lot of lawsuits because the cops were manhandling the people and things of that nature. And that's not a good thing either. But where do we get law and order from if you don't have the big mamas and the big papas where they can law and order their children? Who's going to do it then? Again, you're going to have the town running amok. There's got to be some law and order, because now what they're doing is they're hitting innocent women, innocent elderly men, young children. Come on. Yeah. Like my husband doesn't even like taking the subway anymore. He takes the express bus downtown to go to work because he's like, I can't with the trains.
Really? Is that like that?
That bad, beauty queen. Wow. That bad.
Wow.
Yep.
Sorry to hear that. Like,
we can't run around with the peace.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So some are illegally they running around with it, but it's the little knuckleheads that have it, and they fighting each other for what?
Girl, that's what I was gonna say. Is
what beef do you have?
No respect. No respect for elders. No respect for authority. No respect for adults. Running up on you with guns and shit. Like, it's terrible. It's terrible. It's like what is it? The Wild Wild West or something, like.
Exactly.
Adults and children. And then it's like a fine line there because they're a child, but this child is with a weapon. Once a child, in my opinion, has a gun, there is no line or anything there. It's like my life is what I need to save at this point, and that's by any means necessary. So that.
And then if you try to say something to these little young ones, they like.
Yeah.
Because they got an attitude. So it's like you can't even approach them.
Yeah. And the parents don't want to say anything to their kids either. Or, the kids done been so unruly that the parents done probably washed their hands and got rid of the children.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the kids that are just, it's like the 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds.
That's it.
What? Yo, like.
12 to about 18. That group in there is like.
Yeah. I love to see little girls with like ponytails and pigtails in their hair.
Yeah, just be little girls.
Toys and stuff. We don't have that no more with this culture of social media and technology. And I won't necessarily say, but technology. Technology just allows them to be able to do everything. Now I have to like put my daughter on like this schedule where like it's days out the week where you cannot have the tablet. You have to like look at TV, look at some commercials, do something like, because the tablet and all that is like just taking over. It's taking over. It's ridiculous. It's taking over.
I think I saw there was a commercial where, and I think it's here in New York, where they want to ban like 12-year-olds, like they have to get their parents' permission, not so much ban, but they have to get their parents' permission if they want to sign on to like Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat.
Yeah.
And I'm all for that as well, because it's gotten out of hand. There's no law and order. So where we were like, okay, you know, we were running outside and stuff, we still kind of feared our parents.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, I'm gonna get an ass whooping if I don't come
Hell
in by
yeah.
12 o'clock.
Excuse my
You know
language.
what I mean?
Yeah.
They like, we don't give a rat's ass if what mom do, what dad do. We don't care.
Dangerous.
And it's like, come on, like, and that's the breakdown of what's been going on with the powers that shouldn't be.
Yeah, and this is
and throwing in this social media, you know, it's a recipe for disaster. So it's like, where do you get a hold? You got to get a hold somewhere. But I see some women, like they put their little girls with the wigs and the eyelashes on Instagram and stuff, and they laugh and it's giggling, it's cute, it's fun. Yeah, okay, you know. But she's gonna get used to that, because now you putting in something into, you know, you setting up the stage. You gotta just let kids be kids.
Yeah, and in my opinion, it's too dangerous, and a lot of people think that all the privacies and all that stuff that Google offers you when you sign your kid up or sign your Amazon account up for these kids, like it doesn't. Like it seems like we're exposing our children more and more, and it's still like it's dangerous for them. Like it
even more so now because of that trafficking stuff.
We're entrusting the federal and state laws that they have in place, but it still makes our children exposed. Yeah, it does. You still have pedophiles online pretending to be children. Exactly. You still have then you got this influence of this AI bullshit, and you don't know what that is.
Right.
And kids like talking to them and playing with that. Like it is out of control, Foxy.
Yeah.
It is out of control. And I kind of wish it just was, you know, like I like to be a hermit, and I always say it's best to be you know, I just look at it as what is it of not of this world, like living my own
exactly
world, not be of this world. I know the world is changing and everything like that, but what I believe in, ethics, values, and morals will never change. So I don't want to be a part of that. And I definitely have been guilty of letting my daughter like be a part of like this craze, this little social. Well, she don't have no social media platforms though, but she's on that tablet or like playing those games and stuff.
Yeah.
But I think about the people who let their kids like have Instagram and Facebook. Right. Yeah, like what is wrong? Like what is wrong?
And I think that it should be an age. It needs to be age appropriate. Like, yeah, they need to get consent. If they're 13 years old, they're still a minor. They need to get their consent. But these kids are sneaking off. What's this one?
I mean, what Ron's girl, why are Caribbean, Africans, and Latinos always putting down American blacks? All my people, I'm friends are successful. They have their own how you call it, you know, how the racism thing started, colonialism. Yeah, and it happened to them. And they don't necessarily relate to the African American struggle because they aren't.
That's American. Not their struggle.
They didn't have a struggle over here in America. And you know, as I always say, once they come here, or once other nationalities come here, they come here after that fight has been done. They come here after the work has been done. You know, like. So it was easier so they don't recognize that, and they don't think that Black Americans are affording an opportunity that's given to them with those questions like, well, why is it so hard for you? It shouldn't be hard for you. You have free school, you have this, you got that, but they still have to live in an American system that isn't equal for everyone who's American. And it's unfortunate that they missed that part. That's what I would say, Ivy, and it doesn't make it right, and it definitely does make it wrong in my opinion. So, yeah. Blue Jay says, Ruko Style says, way long before the internet. People don't believe me when I tell them in the 80s we were left to ourselves while our parents went to work. The streets were full of kids. Yes.
Yep.
Playing outside. And then if your parents got home, like you had to be up in the house before they got home from work if you were supposed to be outside.
Exactly.
Ivory
You
dreams.
call latchkey kids.
Yeah, latchkey kids. Ivory dreams. Those are African and Caribbean losers with we Africans love our Black Americans. Ivory dreams. Where did that come from? Nobody was talking about that. Something was said earlier. Roz, we Africans are still struggling. DG, I said nothing about the Africans. Like, I hope I did. Ruko, exactly. My mom always worked and we didn't have cell phones. So basically 3 to 4 hours was unattended and
That's
untraceable. Yeah. Y'all are
still
right.
That's
Yeah.
like we had to navigate. Remember having to put the quarters into the phone booth and calling your parents?
I remember my mom being at work and I just had to be cool until she got home. She worked for 8 hours, no communication. A house phone, sure enough. So if you
the house phone, but my mother was like, "You make sure you in the house by 3 o'clock. I give you 3:15. If you not there, your ass is grass."
Ooh, yeah.
I was in that house like I didn't want no beef.
Yeah.
Then I like ask her while I'm on the phone, "Can I go outside?" And she said, "Yeah." Be home before I get back in the house before 6 o'clock.
Yeah, I had to make sure that the house was clean, food was cooked.
You had to cook food too?
Yeah, my mom's bedroom was clean. All of that stuff. Like, I used to be like, yo, my mom be like, oh, I bought you a gift today. Mops, brooms. Like, oh, you're going to learn to make sure that when I'm out here doing this, you're going to be able to keep this up. Damn. But yeah, now it's one of the best things I do. I like always want to sweep and all this kind of shit. So
yeah, it helps me with my I don't know if it's depression or anxiety, but yeah, it helps calm me down when I start cleaning up.
Yeah, like I'm like a sweeper. So yeah, when I'm like anxious or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
I go through that too. Start sweeping. Like it'd be 12 o'clock at night, just get up and start doing stuff. They like, why aren't you in bed?
I'm thinking the mind just won't stop thinking.
Right.
And it's like you don't even want to be thinking. Like, oh, I don't even want to say.
Right. Like I want to be asleep, but life is happening right now in my brain cells.
Yeah. I can so relate. Life is happening. Nah, thank you so much for answering all the questions tonight. That was wonderful. Yeah, thank you. So what do you think about
vibrators? No. We don't do that. That's not good for our bodies.
What happened?
He said vibrators
is terrible. Yeah, you are acting terrible tonight.
It's the full moon.
Okay.
Yes.
Got
in Virgo. So people gonna be acting up tonight.
Okay, well that's a good thing to know. Whew, Lord. Whew, Lord.
Or lack of progress. The problem is a lot of our progress can be rooted by the parents giving limited attention. I mean, yeah, it's just the way you're raised too. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I think the morals, like you said, the culture shifted. So the morals are just being thrown out the window at this point.
Yeah.
People are just like, whatever, because you got parents who are engrossed in social media as well, tablets.
Oh yeah,
definitely. On a computer, definitely. So it's pretty much got everybody in a chokehold. Can't get away from it. I'll sit here. I may not be on the computer. Sometimes I slide through Instagram, but then I'll go on YouTube and I'm watching all these, shows, documentaries, or sometimes I'll come on, but I'll be in there for a minute, like, whoa, just flipping through.
Girl, I get a hold of Dateline gets a hold of me and I can't do nothing. Like, I love Dateline.
So you like the murder mysteries?
Yeah, with some gummy bears and wine on point for me. Lionel has joined the party.
Okay.
How are you? Hi, Lionel.
I'm okay.
I saw your comments in there. You were very involved and aware. So how about you share? What do you think? What are your sentiments for the end of Black History Month? What do you think the woman's role? I'm gonna ask you those questions that I asked Foxy, if you don't mind.
Okay.
The what the woman's role in the community should be, a Black woman in the community should be now.
Now she needs to be a teacher. That's the primary role. She needs to be a teacher. She needs to be teaching her kids and the community, or as much as she can, teaching other people how to be teachers and teaching them how to be leaders.
Okay, I like that. And then I'll ask you the same question in regards to the male. What do you think the Black male should be doing for the community?
Oh, it's the exact same thing. They both should be coming together doing it and teaching quality at that.
Mhm.
That way you can create bosses, but bosses that are teachers and leaders. People of quality.
Mhm.
Because that's not what we're doing right now.
Mhm. Would you like to elaborate? Sounds like you have. I can hear some passion in that over there.
Well, that's because I've been fussing at people most of the night.
Yeah, and we were talking about other children. What should we as parents, or what should we as the community, demand or require for our Black children when it comes to education?
Well, I'm gonna say this to go into that. I definitely hear way too many excuses from the parents in the Black community. I could definitely go out of this, but in terms of the Black community, there's way too many excuses being given why they can't do certain things for their children, or why they can't attend to them or their schoolwork or extracurricular activities. And it's like, I have to have a job, or I have this going on. There's no excuses you can make. You got to find a way. And you have to be able to really understand that you're teaching the future. Like, if we're not focused on teaching the future and still learning ourselves, we're going to be stuck.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of that's not going on.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to drop the excuses, and we have to be pushing. Parents have to be doing better, first and foremost. They have to do better.
Mm-hmm.
So, and because of my own personal experience, it's absolutely hard for me to listen to excuses when 9 times out of 10, my situation's more of an extreme situation, but I saw a parent who had no excuses and had to make it happen no matter what.
Okay.
And all I did was follow her lead.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for that. EAE, yep, the same with me. You're trying to be HB. The woman needs to be the wife first and then the teacher. Do you agree with that, Lionel?
I mean, depends on what are the duties of the wife, though. Everything's gonna, in this day and age, everything has to be explained, because you could be a wife and just sit at home. It doesn't mean you're raising the child, doesn't mean you're instilling quality information into the child. Like, if you're not prepping the child to learn trades or learn things that's going to help them become a creator, help them build versus just getting by, what are you there for?
Mm-hmm. Do you have children, Lana?
No, I do not have children, but I have 2 siblings that I had to raise while my mom was raising me.
Mm-hmm.
So while she was because me and her, we grew up together. And say it again?
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So when you have, when you're born to an 11-year-old, you're growing up with them. Mm-hmm. And while she's teaching me certain things, I'm learning stuff on my own to instill on my brother and sister.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Wow. So your mom had you as well as your brother and sister while at 11 and 12, like in 12, or she just had you at 11, right?
No, she had me. Yeah, she had me
Mhm.
young. She had my brother years later, and then my sister way down the line.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Yeah, and I remember you sharing your story, and I thought that it was resilient of your mom to be and do the things that she is doing. So, and then to raise you, that is beautiful. Yeah.
And I'm like really proud of my brother because he'll straight tell you that everything he's doing now is because I kept pushing him to do it. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
he's just turning 30 and he knows how to fly a plane. He knows how to sail a boat. He
Mm-hmm.
knows how to weld. He's been literally just all over the world 2 times over, constantly learning different trades. Currently, he's doing truck driving, and then he's going to go back to the sailing thing after that.
Mm-hmm.
Then he's going to go back to flying.
Mm-hmm.
Like he always has a job, constantly
Mm-hmm.
making money, but he's also trying to help other people
Mm-hmm.
realize they don't have to be making like small time jobs. They
Mm-hmm.
can be getting this money and trying to build something. He's currently also trying to buy land so he can build his own house and be able to farm because he want to be able to have his own resources.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's awesome. That's really cool. And where is he located at?
Currently, he's in Colorado.
Oh, okay. Oh, Colorado's beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, wow.
Oh, he don't like it.
I'm back, beauty queen. I have to make a.
Okay. So, Lionel, did you hear the beginning of the show about the daddy effect?
Yes, I was in the comments.
Oh, okay. So now that you're up here, I would like to ask you that question. What do you think about the daddy effect? Do you think that women have daddy issues when they refer to men as daddies, or can you understand the term or the culture of the term?
I actually don't think they care about the significance behind the term. Some of them, I do think it's maybe a form of subjugation that they're using. They're definitely, you're not calling me daddy. I'm not playing that. But
So they can't call you daddy.
nah, they can't call me daddy.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, then. Have been hilarious tonight. Go ahead, Lionel. I'm sorry.
No, I just think I don't like how the term has been used because it has been at this point over sexualized, in my opinion.
Mhm.
And nah, I don't like the term at this point.
Do you think that's from the new craze of porn and the influx of that too? And now people mimicking those terminology, those wants, those things now, and that term has been sexualized for that reason also.
That I don't know. I definitely don't know because I talk to older gentlemen and they use the term basically like saying, "No, I'm gonna have that little girl calling me daddy." You know, just saying. Like I hear older gentlemen all the time, and they're using this term in a sexual manner also.
Right. Because you got to think during the black exploitation movies, that's how they would like, especially like the pimp and whole kind of culture back then. It was like, yeah, call me daddy. Who's your daddy? You know, things like that. So they made it into a sexual, more sexualized than as opposed to being innocent, where you just.
And also it may make it to a form of involuntary submission. If it's like, who's your daddy? Call me your daddy. Yeah, like why would you require someone to call you such high regard for that in that pimp and hoe tradition? Excuse my language, guys. Foxy got me up here cussing. What you eating, Foxy?
A Cinnabon.
Oh yeah, that sounds real good.
I had to get some water, but I was like, I need something sweet, and I don't have any cookies around, so I was like, I need to get some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lionel, did you get your black paraphernalia tonight?
I am wearing all black, if that counts.
Okay. You know, I mean, it's the thought that counts. So thank you for wearing all black, Lionel. Thank you. Oh wow.
Somebody was mentioning as far as like with plumbers, I think it was Rocco Town.
Oh wait.
So when I had mentioned blue collar, there's nothing wrong with that. I think that what happens is because you have this new manosphere or whatever that are talking about, oh, you know, with the Kevin Samuels whole thing of, you know, are they making six figures or the woman wants six figures and all this stuff. I didn't come from that. I came from blue collared hard workers that, you know, made a lot of money, had pension benefits, health benefits, you name it, we were good.
Mm-hmm.
And this whole, you know, I don't know where it came from, and it's stupid. It's stupid.
I would argue that
others weren't making that kind of money like that. Where are you getting this idea from?
I would definitely argue that. I don't disagree with you completely,
Mm-hmm.
but I do want to say that while I don't agree with everything Kevin Samuels was saying, he was trying to shift the mindset out of mediocrity.
Mm-hmm.
And that's actually important. And what he did is literally what my mom did. Sat me down and asked me, how much money do you want to be making?
Mm.
I told her I didn't know. She said, aim for 90,000. And I didn't understand it at the moment. Like, why did she ask me to reach so high? Next thing you know, by the end of the year, I made over $100,000 just by working because her thought was nagging in my head. Because she wanted, and I saw the outcome of being able to make that much money. And like walking around happy, plenty of money in the bank, I'm good. And it's like, dang, I don't want to go back to making less than this. And he was pushing that mindset to aim beyond just being the average earner. Because they literally tell you that the average earner makes $53,000 a year at cap. Just average though. Not saying everyone.
Did he say who the average earners were though?
In terms of the black community, yeah.
Yeah. What positions were they holding? What were their job descriptions or titles?
Most of them are blue collar positions. I don't know the exact jobs for that.
Okay.
Yeah. But I do think that it is more of us should have that mindset to aim higher than just being mediocre. We shouldn't want to just settle for a certain thing. And it shouldn't be that, hey, the woman is expecting you to make six figures. You should be expecting to make something like that or more if you can reach that far. And that's what I was seeing him do to the black men, to put that number in their head. So, hey, get off your butts and go do this. Because he even had a whole podcast where he told the men, if you are over 35 years old and you're making $40,000 or less, you need to consider yourself in the danger zone. You need to get yourself another job, find a way to double your money. Like, you need to do something. I see nothing wrong with that mentality.
Yeah, and what happened? The men didn't want to hear him, so he changed his shift and went to the women. And the women, he got more attention out of the women hearing him than the men were.
He definitely got more attention out of the women, definitely. And I do let people know this dude was talking to men for 3 to 4 years before he said anything to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So when I was hearing all the people, trying to talk down on him, I'm like, if y'all look at his channel, he's got 3 to 4 years of content where he is going hard on the men, going hard on their hygiene, going hard on how they're dressing, their earnings. I personally think he was trying to help black men. Just weren't enough listening.
Yeah. Well, you guys, I am coming to an end My computer is going dead, and I left my charger in another place, and I was too lazy to go get it. But Lionel, I want to thank you for coming up here. I think that it was hilarious that they can't call you daddy, but I definitely think that the things that you said about what we should be expecting of our black men and women, as well as our expectations of children, was very important. And I hope that those who can make change, and even ourselves, if we can make that change, we should be trying to do that. Do you have any last words before we get up out of here?
No, I appreciate your podcast.
Thank you so much. I love that you came and gave me some support. So have a wonderful night. Are you still at work?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, well, get that job done, please. Don't bother nobody. And,
Have a good night, both of y'all.
it's Black History Month, so enjoy it. Thank you, Foxy, for joining.
Awesome.
I
Thank you, my
appreciate
beauty
your
queen.
presence so much. You answered all the questions and gave me a whole lot more. So I am forever grateful for you and the friendship that I have developed with you. Do you have any last words?
Black and I'm proud.
Yeah. Say it loud.
Besides that, no, I think that we should do some due diligence with educating ourselves. This way we can educate our children and not necessarily have to be this whole collective beehive, because we know we can't reach everyone, but it starts in your home. It starts with your family, and having these kind of conversations like this. This is a family kind of conversation where we're having dialogue and we're talking, and listening to our children, because I think a lot of times the children feel like they're not being heard. And they need to. They're little people, they're human, and hearing what they have to say, and acknowledging them so that they don't feel like they got to get attention somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
And that's all. Salute to your panels, your peoples in the chat. I love you dearly, eternally. And you have a good weekend, and hope to see you again on the flip side of things.
Thank you so much, Foxy. I appreciate you. Enjoy your weekend and have a wonderful night.
Thank you, you too.
Yeah, well, morning,
Right.
Bye. It's been a great night, you guys. Thank you guys for joining. As I said, I greatly appreciate y'all each and every Thursday and Saturday that I show up. Let's go here to the chat so I can get y'all lasting comments. I guess Ruko was saying to Foxy, eating at 2 a.m. is not healthy. Oh God, Blue Jay, I don't even remember calling my daddy, and sure I did when I was way little, but not past far memory goes. Ivy says my family is a blue collar business owner and a professional, educated, divine nine, Jack and Jill Links. Okay, I definitely get that. Foxy Moon, LOL, is all good. I'm drinking rum right now. Great show, Roz. Thank you so much, Ivy. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you and all your knowledge that you're always giving to the chat. And Dog, thank you for joining. Blue Jay, of course, thank you. Lionel, thank you for being on the panel. I'm glad you joined. Let's see. And Foxy, thank y'all so much. We have Mo Love here tonight. Thank you, Mo Love. DG, thank you, DG, for all your comments. EAE, thank you. And all that deplorable stuff that you put in the chat. I don't have any moderators. I don't know if I'm getting anytime soon, but for now, have at it. Randy So-Called, thank you for coming back to the chat and being civil. And giving me your forgiveness. I appreciate you, Randy. Wally, thank you for being here as well. All you guys are wonderful. It's 2:00. Oh, Rich Martinez came too. Thank you, Rich. 7 Still saw you in here. San Jose, Mike Dougie. All of y'all, appreciate y'all so much. The support is Always greatly appreciated. If you have not told anybody about my channel, please tell them. I am trying to get, some subscribers, you guys. Like, I just want a couple of subscribers. I'm trying to get some every week, a little more every week. So tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Yeah. EAE said I dropped my ashtray early and I just did it again. God, forgive me. I be tripping. Anyways, I'm trying to get some subscribers, so please tell people about me so they can subscribe. If you have not liked my page or liked this video, please like, and at the end of the video, leave a comment. I appreciate you a lot. If you are watching the replay, thank you for coming to watch the replay and show your support. Tonight was wonderful. It's the weekend. I hope that you can enjoy it. I hope that you are spending it with those that you love. In regards to Black History Month, thank y'all for coming to the party. Thank y'all for wearing y'all black stuff tonight and respecting it. Appreciate that. We had a wonderful night, you guys. A wonderful night. I always appreciate coming up here and talking to you guys. It always does something for me. And I just want y'all to know that I appreciate y'all for the support very much. So I will try my best to be here next Thursday if God says the same. School has started for me yet again. So I am a little busy, but I am appreciative of the support. So I will try my best to be here Thursday and Saturday. So look forward to that. If you guys want some topics, you can definitely follow me at Instagram. And I will respond. So yeah. Have a good night. Bye.